That's cool.
Oh, and Truffle's thing isn't on there. Gotta add that.
Let me pull up the stream. Actually, yeah, I'll pull up the stream in a different tab. Why not?
I will,
Yeah.
for certain things, I'll share my screen when we, like, if there's any frog videos, I don't know if there is, but I'll share my screen so we can all react in time. Hi, Grim!
Grim.
I'm just going to have the stream muted since delay and it
Yeah, it's fair.
sounds weird.
Grim, thanks for the 15
enough.
months!
Over a year subbed.
Yeah! That's crazy! It's really cool seeing people who have been subbed for a long time. Like, this server has been, what, it's been 5 years now? It's crazy to think about. Like, the end of Season 8, it's gonna be like 7 years. Didn't give me that time.
Not the job application jump scare.
Also, Freya, don't forget to ping. That
Yeah, I was
the
about to
stream-
ping. I need to have a bot automatically ping. I just never set it up. I just have a button that I press.
Mhm.
Something smells really good. I can't tell if it's from the kitchen or something Virgil is making.
Nope.
I'm gonna ask him.
Hi, Minx!
Hello, Minx.
I can't. I absolutely love your keys or whatever.
Oh.
It's like ASMR.
Yeah, I feel really bad because they're like my keyboard before used to be really loud, and now this one is still just as loud, but at least it sounds nice. And I was really mad because okay, my family went to Taiwan recently, and we went to this like I think it was like 10 stories tall, like electronics store. And we were like going place to place. So like, I was looking for keyboards specifically because I like mechanical keyboards, and I was like, I want one that sounds very buttery. And I found one that was literally just like out of its box in a pile, and I was like, this sounds amazing. And I bought it. Turns out I could have just gotten it on Amazon for the same price. So at least I didn't get like scammed, but that, you know. I also could have gotten one with a numpad, which I was like mad because it didn't have a numpad, but oh well.
Quick question. Is my, like, mic registering okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Because, okay. I actually just realized I've been going based off of the streaming thing, but the streaming thing is delayed, so that's not really valid.
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
Okay.
Right. We are just going from December 31. The last 2 Lore Tuesday posts from 2025. First one's
Dun,
Lucky.
Dun, dun.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh no.
I don't pressure people to read their own. I know CJ likes to read their own stuff, but you don't have to, and Light likes to read her own stuff, so.
I need to go gambling.
Gambling! If you get Eclipse, you're gonna die.
Okay.
No, it's Taskmaster!
Taskmaster.
Now people know who Taskmaster is, although I don't think anybody really cared. Oh, I need to make a new Eclipse one, because that's like a really old design.
You think it would be fun if, like, the dogs that had multiple people, if we read them separately?
Please obey Eclipse. Please obey Eclipse.
Swiper. I think I want to replace Taskmaster and the Axolotl still. I don't know with who, though. We need an Okal one.
Ooh.
Yes!
Yes.
That'd be
We need an
cool.
Okal and a Comet one, I think.
Mhm.
Oh, nice!
Legend
that's
has
a
it, if you pull Zinnia and then you pull Eclipse, they become canon.
Oh my god. We can get Canon Yuri.
15
I mean,
stream watch?
Don't we already? We
CC.
have. Don't we already have Canon Yuri with Strawberry and?
Oh yeah, there's tons of canon. There's canon everything, but specifically Zclips. Guys work together.
Eclipse, I love that.
We should come up with like a, cause like with Eclipse, you know, I made the joke that like you get 3 eclipses in a row, your character dies next. There should be one for each different character you pull. I'm gonna put a reminder for myself actually to make Okul and
Comet.
yeah.
Bro, I'm so mad. My job application jump scare didn't show.
Oh. Yes, the Taskmaster is holding wife found dead in woods. Oh, there's Eclipse! If you get Zinnia next, it becomes canon.
Let's get Zinnia.
Zinnia.
Please.
Zinnia.
Zinnia. Zinnia. Zinnia.
Zinnia.
Yeah. Zinnia.
Yeah.
Keep gambling.
Alright, so your last chance, and then we're gonna move into Lore Tuesday. Oh, it's Miraju. That's too bad.
Aww.
Smelly. Ew. Ew.
Oh, well. Maybe next time. Alright. Sorry. My
I can hear
eyes are
Zinnia's
going. I need
cries
to
from over here.
wear my glasses today. I apologize. You got Nerd Freya today. Okay. I can read, and then we can just rotate to whoever wants to read each thing. New coworkers. Down in the basement of Lucky's cabin, the sound of mice, boiling chemicals, and frustration can be heard as, once again, Lucky fails to get the results she wants. You've got to be kidding me. What am I missing? Lucky's hand wipes her face as she sighs out. This is ridiculous. A voice cuts through Lucky's thoughts, the one that's been bothering her for weeks. It comes from the one locked up in the cage, the one that's been listening to her complain and get frustrated over the serum. You know, my people used to use something to aid in the process of healing, Carr states quietly, fiddling with one of the toy wooden blocks Lucky gave her as she sits in the corner of the cage. Lucky turns to her and approaches the cage. By now, she knows the human couldn't possibly do much to harm her, but she isn't sure what exactly to do with her. Oh, you sound like you're some scientist sent from the gods. Didn't you say you got kicked off your ship for being useless? Carr glares at Lucky and says, I did. Carr then stands and pokes her head through the iron bars. It's a plant. I doubt we call it the same thing, but if this planet is anything like my own, I might be able to find it. And how would you find this plant? Lucky scoffs. Carr looks up at the ceiling as if she were thinking. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you could let me go look? As if. How would I know you wouldn't just run away the first chance you get? The goat has a point, but her desperation to complete the serum is almost agonizing. Carr can feel it in the air, like it's oozing out of her very being. Run and go where? Carr retorts, poking her head through the bars as her eyes narrow. You know this planet better than I. I highly doubt that I could hide from you even if it were my goal. After a moment of brief silence, Carr adds, Plus, you've been working on this serum for how long? How much longer can those in need wait? Do you really have the time to let your own illogical reasoning stop you from finally completing this life-saving solution? Lucky stares at Carr for a few seconds before groaning. She reaches for her keys in her pocket, sorting through the keys slowly before inserting the correct key into the door of the cell. There. I expect you to do what you promised. This could really aid Solace. She tosses the keys on the lab table before leading Carr upstairs out of the lab. If you do this for me, then maybe I'll trust you. Once they're on the first level of the cabin, Lucky leads Carr to the front door and opens it for her. Be careful, I don't need you dying on me. Carr scoffs and exits the home. Time passes excruciatingly slowly as Lucky awaits Carr's return in an attempt to distract herself. Lucky focuses on perfecting the serum. As she's still struggling to accept the fact that she couldn't do everything on her own like she usually does. After hours of being gone, Carr finally returns to the underground lab with a good handful of fragrant herbs. Finally! It took you long enough. It's like you went for an entire hike. Lucky quickly takes the plants out of Carr's hands and begins the process of brewing them. While she's doing so, Carr watches over her shoulder. Do you mind? This takes a lot of time and perfection. Lucky huffs out. As she works, Lucky banishes Car to a corner, but the two eventually find themselves talking as Lucky explains each important detail and ingredient. Soon, the process reaches completion. There. Now to test it out. Car, would you please grab one of my mice? They won't bite. Car gently picks Turnip, a small tan deer mouse, which she holds steady in her hands. Lucky grabs a needle and pricks Turnip in the leg before injecting the serum, just like it was made to do. The medication causes the small prick to quickly heal as if it had never been inflicted on the poor mammal. There's no scar, no more pain, just a happy little mouse. Ha! This is incredible! It works! I can't believe it works! Lucky says, ecstatic as she shakes Car's shoulder as if she had performed a miracle. After the heat of the moment passes, Lucky composes herself, moves away from Car once more, and clears her throat. Right, well, I should deliver these to Freya and see what she thinks. Thank you for your assistance. I believe I can call you a friend. Wow, that's gonna help the hospital.
Yeah, that would. That would be great, actually.
Interesting.
Do any of you want to read? Do we want to do rotating or just? You can request when we come across one that you're like, you want to read, then you can do that.
I can read this.
All right.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I see light in there.
Day 186. I've been hearing voices. Voices that aren't real. Voices that tell me to do stuff. To hurt people. I won't give in to these voices, but they are strong and unforgiving. For an example, when I went to the funeral for Light, the voices told me to punch the newest person. Speaking of the funeral, I met a new person called Oliver. He seems to be some sort of shapeshifter, although I've only seen him turn into a seal. Oliver seems like a chill bloke, but I can't say for sure yet.
Ooh. Don't punch people. It's not good for you. All right, from Waters.
don't listen to the voices.
Don't listen to the voices. Take it from Truffle. Solace Weather Alert. Solace Weather Services has issued a severe weather alert for the following areas. Moontouch Kingdom, Kindlegrim, at 23:12 tonight, effective until 8:30 the following day. Message transmission from the SUNC Weather Science Facility. That's worrying.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
That was days ago, so I'm sure everything's fine. Hee hee ha ha.
Yeah. Sure.
Sure, certainly, yeah.
Alright, we have from we don't have many days. This is Eclipse.
Hey kid. Told you I'd be back. I miss you. Miss having you around. It's pretty lonely out here. I can see why you wanted to come back. I didn't tell you, but I was gonna get us out of there that day. I like to think in another universe we escaped and are living in a nice planet in the core, away from all the shit. Speaking of which, I only have 2 left. Unfortunately, they're probably going to be my toughest targets. But they'll get what I deserve. I promise, Cypher.
Fun fact, if you listen really closely at certain parts, you can hear Glacier's cat meowing. And they sent me, like, so many recordings being like, please try to cut through the meows.
Oh, that's so cute.
The cat is an integral part to the
It's important more.
character.
CC, if you ever make Z-Clips art, they have to own a cat together.
Yes,
Yes,
Canon now.
absolutely.
That's the cat. On it, boss.
Fantastic. Good on you, Cece.
Yeah, canon.
All right. Now, what would Zinnia and Eclipse's cat be named? That's the question. All right. CJ, did you want to read
Nebula.
your own doc?
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
All right. You always
All
do it justice.
Thank you. Alright. I haven't written like this in ages. Maybe because I ruined the book I was writing these things in. I still have it somewhere, but the pages are soaked through and stuck together from ink. I talked to people, Krufak and Zin. Krufak kept calling me Alfie. She's the second person to call me that, along with Mr. Fisherman. But he at least stopped when I told him I wasn't Alfie. Krufak just kept asking questions. But she was surprisingly nice. I was expecting her to be tougher. I don't know. She did say that that if Croy comes back to tell her, whether it's putting something in the post box or going to her faction, she said that the blind prophet wouldn't do anything to me on her watch. Maybe she is like the character that Croy told me about. Zin and I made up after she left Solus and I got angry at her and didn't talk to her. She and I spent the entire day together. She tried to teach me how to bake cookies, but I kept getting the measurements wrong. It didn't make sense. It came out of the oven as one giant square that filled the entire tin. It was chewy, but still good, at least to me. Sin also offered to clean my clothes, but I didn't want to take them off. Didn't exactly have anything else to put on until the others were clean, and I didn't want to borrow any of Zin's, so my clothes will just stay as they are for now. Ooh, also, I found the hotel. I finally found it. It had no pathways to it, and it just plopped down somewhere, which isn't great, but I got there and that's all that matters. I left the carrots I got from the market in a box in the front door for Ribbit Person. I didn't want to go in since it looked like there was a lock thingy on it that was broken, so I just left it there with a note. Hopefully Ribbit Person will like them, and hopefully someone gets the door fixed. She's always scared and she doesn't need more of a reason to be. Still, there's no Croy. Maybe the fire hurt him a lot? Maybe that's what hurts ghosts? Fire? I don't know. We never really talked about it. Maybe there's books in the library faction about ghosts and how they work. Or maybe there's a book on how to find them. I don't really want to go to the faction though, since I think the head librarian is still in the hospital. I might be the only one there, and I mightn't be allowed in there alone or without asking. I wish Miss Guide was here. She could have helped me with this. Croy will come back eventually. Maybe he's right here with me and I just can't sense him and he can't interact with anything yet. His body will heal up soon and he'll be here and everything will be fine. Aside from that, I've been busy. Mainly because I don't want to go home right now for reasons that aren't important to write down, along with it being really windy and rainy and the clouds flashing. I got a job in Mr. Tank's faction. I'm a general historian now, which is kind of like a storyteller, but the story is about things that actually happened. Getting to the faction is a very long walk from Kindlegrim, but I normally just stay around the main area whenever I'm not working. There's supposed to be some sort of guard force walking around, picking on people alone, but they haven't done anything, so I don't think it's an actual thing that's being enforced. It's usually really quiet in the faction, which isn't a bad thing. It's also huge. I look through the glass walls and it goes all over the place. It's a bit different from what I expected when I first was around there. Then again, I did break the door and then ran away. I'm surprised Mr. Tank never gave out to me for that, but I don't think he feels okay at the moment, so he hasn't bothered. I don't see him that often, actually. Sometimes I'd see him passing by in the elevator or through the room when I'm working, but that's kinda it. I do try to say hello to him whenever he does, which in response he either gives a nod, a grumble, a nod and a grumble, or just ignores me. I don't think he ignores me on purpose. He's just really tired, so I don't take it in a bad way. There was one day where he was wandering around and grumbling to himself, typing stuff on a tablet in his arm, and sometimes just stopping and resting his tank head in his hand. I tried not to stare or make any noise, since I didn't want to upset him any more than he already was by being too loud or by gawking. It did end up forgetting his cup of hot drink on one of the desks, which is a surprise since he seems to always have a cup of that in his hands. I had to go find him to give it back. It smells so bad. How does he even drink that? How does he even drink in general? Nope, none of my business. Not important to ask. There's also a man in the walls. He's very robotic sounding. It reminds me of the box heads I call my friends. Their voices are similar. I wonder where they are. I want to punch a certain one of them right in the screen when I see him. The man in the wall is called T-Rost? Kiros? I don't really know. Mr. Tank's voice is really hard to understand sometimes. It's not his fault, though. But the man in the walls is nice. He helps me with my research on the history I need to learn and research. Mostly I just ask him to give me the definition of things so I can figure out what it is so I can write the notes of it in Gaelga. It helps me remember things better. I try not to ask for his help a lot, though. He sounds like one of Mr. Tank's friends, and he needs to help him too. I finally finished the letter from Miss Guide. It was really difficult, more than I thought it would be. I kept making my eyes water whenever I tried to write it. I really liked her. She was a big sister to me. I think that was the word Zin used when I told her what I was trying to do. I don't feel as bad anymore. The more I think about it, the more I feel like this is for the best. Not that I'm saying Miss Guy deserved to die, not at all. But she isn't in pain anymore. She can walk and not collapse. She doesn't have to work herself to death and not be thanked by anyone. She doesn't have to worry so much about people and not care for herself, even though I know she probably will worry herself sick regardless. She can just be at peace, rest. That's the least death can do for her. Better than what the majority of this planet could ever do for her. She probably wasn't happy with me yelling at Stardust Lady or going under the ground. I hope she knows I'm sorry. Not Stardust Lady, Miss Guide. It's gonna be a remembrance day for Miss Guide in about an hour. I'm gonna start making my way there. I don't think Mr. Tank is going to come with me. He might go later. That's okay. He just needs time. I'll leave the letter for my sister in the Moontouch Kingdom after. I'm gonna feel better soon, for my big sister. I promise. Crom.
Oh, my heart.
See, this is what I meant by I'm confiscating your angst. Stop it.
Oh, it's the letter.
It's the letter now.
Oh god.
The letter.
You ready?
I'm going to
Alright.
close my ears. I'm already crying. I can't cry anymore.
Okay. Get into character. Alright. To Miss Guide. I know you can't read this, but I like to think that you can and will. Maybe you and the other spirits you would see and talk to when you were alive are watching over my shoulder right now. I prefer that thought. It's weird. When Mr. Skullhammer died, and Belios too, it felt different to this. I knew Mr. Skullhammer longer than I knew you, but I didn't feel this heavy when Croy told me he was gone. It's the same with Belios. I didn't feel like this when I saw his grave. Knowing that you're gone now too, it feels bad. More bad. Maybe it's because I was there and I didn't do something. I was running to you. I wanted to say hi. You were dancing. You looked happy. Not tired like normal. It was nice. I'm sorry. I thought you and Mr. Tank had gotten out before me. You and him are stronger than I am. I didn't see you when everything broke. I helped others, whoever I could find. I hope you're proud of me for that. But I guess this could be a good thing. Although I'm alone again, with Corey gone after the fire, and you gone, and more. At least your legs work now, wherever you are. They won't hurt, and you won't be stressed with the hospital anymore. You can rest and be safe from Solace. I'm sure you're glad to be away from the Blind Prophet at least. I don't know where Mr. Tank is at the moment, but I want to help him because you two were really close. He's probably feeling heavier than I am. You probably want someone to make sure he's okay, right? I'm going to come to your grave every day with flowers and food. I'll clean up afterwards, I promise. We can talk too. I'll tell you everything that happens every day. I won't skip a single one. I'm going to miss you, but I hope you have a peaceful, good afterlife. I'll see you tomorrow. Kron.
Stop! Just stop!
No.
I am literally crying. Oh my god.
CJ!
I need to get tissues. Where are my tissues?
I don't know whether to promote or demote you. What the hell? That was heartbreaking.
Just don't.
It's supposed to. Okay, the
Please.
thing is, Kron is starting on the process of kind of accepting that light is gone, where at the time they were like in denial and didn't really understand. So take this as a good thing. They're slowly accepting it and just
I feel like-
processing it.
I feel like out of everyone, Kron is weirdly taking it the best.
Mhm.
Yes, I agree with you. Oh my god.
Minx, do you want me to read this one?
Are you all
Yes.
crying? Hold up. Hold on a sec.
Yes, we're all crying.
I didn't think it was that emotional. Jesus.
So
It
sad.
was so sad. I almost cried.
Oh my god.
And I never cry. I cry at like the end of the season. That's it. That was impressive. This is a very sad Lord Tuesday. We needed to be happier. I hope this is all happy and nothing bad happens.
I am so sorry about this. Can I read that?
Yes.
My mom came into my room to talk.
Yeah.
Let me scroll up to find it real quick. I probably should have already been on the channel. My bad,
no
my
worries.
bad.
I can also share Google if that helps.
Oh, share. Oh, that makes everything. Okay, I'm going to close out of the stream and just go watch the or the Discord thing.
Okay.
Why is it tweaking out? Okay, there we go. All right. Wow, I really did it. I really did it. I'm back. I'm back in my old body. They stumbled around, arms stretching way out in front of them, giggling as their boots crunched into the deep, powdery snow. Everything around them looked super duper blurry, like the whole world was made out of smudgy cotton balls and clouds. They blinked a bunch, rubbing their eyes, but no, everything was just a big fuzzy mess. They were so blind, but that was okay, wasn't it? They were used to it before, or, well, they'd have to get used to it all over again. The wind is so loud. It sounds all whooshy and swirly, like a giant invisible dragon blowing over the hills. And the snow smells kind of funny, but also nice. Like clean laundry mixed with ice cubes. And it's so cold. Brr. It's like the world is giving me a big chilly squeeze. They spun around with their arms flapping, giggling as they tried to catch snowflakes on their tongue. Their cheeks got all tingly and pink from the wind. It was a little scary, but also kind of fun. The whole world just sounds like sounds and feelings and fuzzy shapes instead of pictures. Every crunch of snow, every whoosh of wind, every tiny thing was huge, important, and new. I guess I could stay out here for a little while. Their voice was small but happy. The snow makes everything so quiet, but also so loud. It's weird. I like it. But soon their legs got all wobbly and tired. The cold started to sneak into their fingers and their toes, and their nose went all tingly and numb. They tried to take another step, but oops. Their knees gave out, and they flopped right under the snow with a soft poof. Uh-oh. They mumbled, giggling sleepily. The snow was soft, and it felt like lying on a big, cold pillow. Their eyes fluttered, and the blurry world spun gently around them. The wind sang them a lullaby, and soon they didn't feel the cold anymore. They just drifted off, right there in the snow, dozing like a cozy kitten. But the world suddenly warped and twisted. Suddenly the cold wasn't just cold, it was sharp, biting into their bones. A shadow slammed into their mind, heavy and suffocating. Ambush's voice sliced through their thoughts, harsh and bristling with anger. You're really going to do this? Had you rather freeze than accept my help? You know what happens if you say no. Their heart hammered. Ambush had never been gentle. He was always lurking, always waiting. This wasn't the first time he'd cornered them. Forced deals with threats and promises that sounded more like warnings. The last time he'd growled at them for hours in dreams, showing them flashes of what he could do. Cities in flames, friendships torn apart, all because someone said no. He was family, but that didn't mean he was safe, not even close. Ambush, they whispered, their voice trembling. I remember last time. I know what you did. A low mocking laugh echoed, making the snow feel even colder. You're weak, kid. You're always weak when it matters most. If you say no again, you'll disappear, and this time I won't ask nicely. They shivered, not from the cold, but from the threat. Ambush was a storm that never really passed. They'd tried to refuse him before, and he'd only come back, nastier and louder. The deal wasn't really a choice. It was a test of how long they could hold out. But they didn't want to die, not this time, not alone in the snow. Fine, they said, teeth chattering. Fine, Ambush, you'd win. Just don't hurt anyone, please. Ambush's power crashed over them, hot, wild, and angry. Don't make promises you can't keep, little one. We both know how this works. Warmth flooded through them, but it was the warmth of a wildfire, not a blanket. The blurry world spun, and they slipped under, hearts still pounding with fear. When they finally woke up, everything was different. They weren't lying in snow anymore. Instead, the blurry shapes around them were darker and rough, rocks maybe. The air smelled wet and sour. Somewhere water dripped, echoing in the dark. It was warmer, but not safe. They rubbed their eyes, even though it didn't help, and whispered, where am I? A cave. Ambush's cave, probably. He dragged them here, just like before. They hugged their knees, shivering, knowing Ambush was still there, inside, watching, waiting. You got what you wanted, Uncle Ambush, they muttered, voice small but angry. But I'm not scared of you. Not really.
Y'all gotta stop traumatizing children. All
It
of
gets
you.
worse.
No.
Oh no.
Ambush is such a
Truffle.
creep.
He
Also, Truffle, you
is.
have a fantastic reading voice.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I was invested
I
the
nearly
whole
messed
time.
up. I nearly messed up at the end there, and I nearly read one of the lines in Ambush's, or the Ambush voice, when it was Zenithra saying, okay, I accidentally closed out of the stream. One moment, I need a moment to get my thing in order.
That's fair. Next up we have a frog video. So we're just gonna watch this.
Yay.
Hi, Bagel. Yeah, we're crashing out. Light celebration of life. This should have nothing sad in it, right? Right?
There's gonna be sad stuff. I'm sorry to break this to you.
Alright, here we go. Are we ready to cry even more, gang? I get they're here because of the tree, but having it in the, like, burnt up hall is crazy. With the crater.
Thank you all for coming to this celebration of life. If you wish to speak, you can come up here. I will give you some time to do that.
Light, or as I called her, Miss Guide. She was a very nice person, and I'm sure all of us agree with that. She was very hard working and almost too hard sometimes, but she was a very nice person, and she lived a long life. Although it wasn't the kindest to her, she lived it anyway, and took care of everyone she came across, even if they were rude to her. She was a good person, and personally, she took care of me very well, and she was just very nice, and I saw her as an older sister in a way. So, yeah.
I'm so proud of Kron for going up and speaking up front.
Light was someone I knew as part of the Keepers of Solace. Every single time they came in public, they were always kind and always were caring about other people. A lot of the time I would...
I just realized I'm logged into an account that I need. Hold on. Okay. I've been doing some consulting on the side, and I was accidentally logged into their account. So they're gonna start getting Smile SMP videos.
Get it?
Oops. Anyway, I unliked the video, and I hope it doesn't show up in their history. I'm on my bot's channel now. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to check something. Okay, good. I thought that maybe I was opening up the docs in their account too. That would be really awkward, but no. It was just YouTube. We're good. We're chilling. We're fine.
part of the Keepers of Solace. Every single time they came in public, they were always kind and always were caring about other people. A lot of the time I would know or learn about their stay at the hospital really late because they really just wanted to help people. I was one of the people who helped me during my accident, and I wish that wherever they are, they're at peace. Thank you.
Thank you for your words. Before Light was taken from us, she gave me a book to read. And I'm gonna read it now. To everyone who attended this funeral, I thank you all for attending, and I am sorry for being the reason we are all here today. To those who know me, I'm sorry for leaving you so soon. To those who do not know me, I wish that we could have met. Solace had become a home for me after experiencing the worst of the after effects of the Great Anomaly in my travels. It became a place to settle down and make friends. I was happy here. I am happy to die here. I do not regret my death. I regret leaving everyone. I regret leaving the hospital with one less employee. I regret not being able to do more to help people. I wish all of you the best of life. I'll see you tomorrow. Yuikima, Light, Auroras. I feel that this event was sad, but it's not meant to be sad. Light wanted us to feel warmth, to feel happiness, to feel grateful for what we have even without light. I brought some food and some blankets so we can have a picnic if you guys want to help me set that up.
Light, you were more than an employee. Also, I struggled with the name first, too.
Every time, I've been to the hospital multiple times, and she always patches me up.
Light was always the most hardworking employee. A star never dies out entirely. Its light forever lightens the path of the ones it crossed. Light was one of the brightest of us. May she forever shine on the paths of those who knew, loved, or even just met her. In remembrance, Light. Thank you, Oliver. Again, thank you guys all for coming. I hope you all will feel better after this. Thank you.
Bye, rabbit person.
Bye bye. Thank you for the carrots, by the way.
You're welcome.
Bye, Frog. Bye, Feather.
Bye bye, Oliver.
Have a good day.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. You have a lot of food to clean up. That was a lot of watermelon being thrown around. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you feeling alright?
Yeah, I'm okay. I still feel sad, even though I know it's not meant to be sad. You know? There's a lot of food left over. I thought it would be a popular thing.
Seems like meat was more on the menu.
I don't understand how people like meat so much. Do you think it's like the way that they cook it or something?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever tried meat? Pretty good.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
What do you mean I didn't notice? Frog, what did I know? What did I not notice?
Have you ever tried meat? Pretty good.
No, I haven't.
There's a certain character in the back. Towards the end.
There's a lot of food left over. I thought it would be a popular thing.
Seems like meat was more on the menu.
I don't understand how people like meat so much. Do you think it's like the way that they cook it or something?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever tried meat? Pretty good.
No, I haven't.
I don't see anything. Where? Where? Don't just say I'm a grandma.
Okay, hold on. hold on.
Freya!
Keep watching. Okay.
At the
Oh.
If it makes you feel any better, I could not find it either.
We'll tell you then. Okay. Keep watching.
Oh. Feather.
No. all.
Well, there's a lot of flowers.
He's gonna jump!
The trends are weird.
You're not gonna jump. I can hear you from
I
here.
know that.
Look at them.
Where'd they go?
Oh,
Red Wings, are you
They're
okay?
cloud-
Oh!
yeah, I'm just stuck on the floor.
That last clip was crazy.
Gonna jump. I can.
Who? Who? Where? Look at the end before the sillies. I mean, there's light. Who else could be here? Corner.
I took a picture of it. It's an SMP General. I asked you.
Please. Oh, it's that fucker! Get out of here. You're not welcome.
I wish to admit I was the professional model because violence to admit show up. Professional model because violence to admit.
Always watching, Wazowski.
Always
Always.
My
All right.
one dog is next.
Light!
Like dog.
Alright, this contains revival from the dead, thoughts of cannibalism, a panic attack, minor self-harm, cursing, and one very upset Waters. That's the biggest warning of them all. Waters, Angry Waters is a warning of its own, that's so true. Freya, I'm sorry, 22 pages!
Oh, I'm scared. I'm terrified. You know what? I'm gonna go eat dinner.
Holy!
Freya, I'm sorry to abandon you. You have fun. I'm gonna go eat me some dinner.
Alright, see ya, Truffle.
I'm gonna read this because I'm gonna speed run it, because otherwise we're gonna be here for an hour reading this document, okay? I love you
You have
all.
fun with that.
I love you
You
all.
have a lot of fun with that.
I'm putting on music. Here we go.
Thank God. Go bless.
Cold. It was very cold. Light couldn't move. Time felt like it was moving at the same speed as on her home planet. It felt like she had been dead for months. How long had she been dead? She slowly opened her eyes. Darkness. It was nothing but darkness. It was silent. Belios' song had faded long before now. Light tried to move and only earned herself a pained chirp. Bits of her body felt like it had been on fire. Maybe it had. Dad, she thought. Are you alright? Are you safe? Frog, do you still feel unsafe? Do you have the support you need? Feather, did you heal properly? Do your wounds bother you? Tall man. Truffle, is anyone giving you the support you need? Kron, Croy, are you both alright? She closed her eyes again, taking into account her injuries. 2 ruined wings on the left side of her head, burns along the same side and some on the right side. All of her illusions are gone. She could feel the gears of her prosthetic leg grind. She needed to repair it. She couldn't repair it. She was dead. Light felt like crying. She felt such a heavy guilt. It felt like it was going to crush her, to drown her. A sound, a step, a gentle, cold hand over her burned face. Light opened her eyes. There stood Meridion, her goddess of death, her mother. Mother, Light whispered. Her mother smiled under her veil, though she could sense that it wasn't a happy smile. You're going home, my little star, Meridion said. Am I saying that name right, by the way, Light?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Light glanced at a stranger past her mother's shoulder. The stranger was a female, likely a death goddess. She wore a red dress. Home? Light questioned. But I'm dead. By the request of a new god, you are being revived, although I do not think it should be allowed, the stranger stated. Light tried to think of all the gods she knew. Surprisingly, she knew a number of them. Most she met on her travels. One was her old teacher in magic. They taught her how to use universal magic, helped expand her knowledge on healing spells and just spells in general. But they were a stickler to the natural order, like she is. They wouldn't revive her even if they cared, and she knew they did. The only option was Belios. No, he wouldn't, would he? My daughter, listen to me. Her mother's voice pulled Light out of her thoughts. Her eyes darted to her mother. Your connection to the spiritual realms has grown. You will experience changes to your powers. Don't let them overwhelm you. I promise you'll be all right. Light gasped and choked on dirt. She clawed and dug herself out from under the roots of her tree. She looked around and saw that she was in a hole. Slowly, she climbed out of the hole. She looked up towards her tree. The white wood, the pink petals. Her ears lowered. She looked over the holes in the ceiling, noting that it was nighttime. Light winced as she slowly stood up. She stumbled, a pained whine. She was overwhelmed. After what felt like months with very little senses, every sound, every smell, every feeling felt like it was hammering down upon her all at once. She noticed something glinting in the moonlight. She limped over and found Waters' helmet, his old one. She knelt and picked it up. Light dusted the dirt and stood off of it, her ears lowering. She hugged it close to her, a soft chirp escaping her. The helmet helped to ground her to the present. It kept her from spacing out or spiraling. She clung to it as a lifeline as she stumbled out of the ruins of the winter ball. She slowly limped her way out into the garden and saw Frog and Feather. Light stared at them. Then she opened her mouth. Frog? Feather? Her voice was soft, almost breaking. Frog was the first of the siblings to run to her. She threw her arms around her friend, hugging her tightly. Light returned the hug, crying into her friend's shoulder. Light? What? How? Frog cried as she pulled away to look at the dragon. You're here! You're alive! Are you okay? Are you... Frog, wait. That was Feather. She came up behind her twin and looked at Light. Oh, Light, you... Light shook her head. Feather, I'm sorry for causing you trouble like this, she said, offering the bird woman a small smile. Feather's wings twitched. Light looked down at her dad's helmet, her ears pinned back. Did I miss much? She asked softly. Frog and Feather shared a look. We'll tell you more later, Frog said quickly. Let's get you to the hospital first. Light opened her mouth to protest, but all that came out were squeaks. She sighed and relented with a nod. Frog held her as they started to walk towards the hospital. Time to go back to another shift! 18-hour shift!
For real.
No rest until you're dead again. Truffle was working the front. They took one look at Light and bolted from their chair and around the desk. They ran into the trio, their focus on Light. Light, you're... Oh goodness, Truffle said, trying not to panic at the dragon's appearance. Light offered her coworker a tight smile. Could you take a look at her, Truffle? Feather asked, stepping forward. Just in case? Yeah, certainly, Truffle said quickly. They gestured to Light to follow. She took a step, intending to follow the nurse, but she stumbled and nearly fell, if it weren't for Feather catching her. Frog came up beside Light and helped her stand straight until Feather was able to let go. With Frog's help, the dragon was able to slowly get to the examination room and onto the table. Truffle and Dr. Ringy examined her, clearing her health. They left Light alone to her thoughts. Her stomach growled. She placed her dad's helmet to the side and hugged her stomach. She hated how hungry she felt at that moment. She hated how her mind latched onto the thought of eating someone. Not food. Not food. They are not food. Stop. Stop thinking about eating them. Her wings tucked closer to her face, hiding it from view. Her tail curled around her body. Everything was so loud, so bright. Her body ached. Her mind was in a scramble. She wanted her dad. She wanted her brother. She wanted someone to come to her and reassure her that she was safe. But was she safe? Truly safe? She didn't think so, not one bit. Light had died, for fuck's sake. She was dead for, 3 fucking months? She had warned Freya. Everyone had warned that damn woman, and she barely listened. The security was a fucking joke if it allowed a fucking bomb to get in. How many had died besides her? How many had gotten hurt? Was anything being done? Can her stupid brain quit thinking about eating someone? Light didn't notice that she was spacing out, losing time until Feather came in with a pile of her clothes. Oh, of clothes. Her ears twitched. I wasn't sure what size you were, so I guessed and got what I thought would fit you, her friend said, offering a small smile. She placed the pile of clothes on the table next to Light. And it'll be warmer than that shredded dress you're wearing. Light winced, not liking the reminder of her ruined dress. She had spent weeks making it. She sighed and nodded. Thank you, she croaked out, quiet and unsure of herself. Feather nodded and walked out. Light quickly changed her clothes for warmer ones. She stared at the dress. The holes from the explosion, the soot that stained it, the smell. Light threw the dress down with a shriek of fury and set it on fire. She watched it burn until it turned to ashes. She sobbed as she sat on a chair, putting her head in her hands. Feather walked back in to see the pile of ashes and Light, who was obviously overwhelmed by everything. She sighed and walked over to Light. She tried to touch her friend's shoulder, but Light flinched away. Hey, it's all right, Feather said quickly. Light shook her head, backing away from Feather's touch. The bird paused, then backed away to give the dragon some space. It's all right, Light, Feather said, keeping her voice quiet. You're alive. I shouldn't be alive, Light screamed. Tears fell on the dragon's face, her ears pinned back. I shouldn't be here. I can't be here. I died. I was dead, she yelled. She sobbed and put her head into her hands. Light sank to her knees, her wings and tail curling around her. Feather didn't know what to do. She could tell Light didn't want to be touched. The door opened and Frog walked in. She looked at Light and the dragon understood what the cryptid wanted. Light held open her arms and let Frog rush to her. She hugged her friend tightly. "I'm here, Frog," she whispered as she gently nuzzled her little sister's hair. Oh, she had gained a little sister. Light smiled slightly and gave Frog a gentle squeeze. She felt tears soak through her tunic. She was crying. Light felt a pang of guilt for making her sister cry. She nuzzled Frog's head again. "Frog, are you okay?" Feather started to say but was interrupted. "I am," Frog said as she pulled away from Light. "I'm just glad that Light is back." Light felt her ears twitch. She slowly, shakily got to her feet. She reached out and took hold of her dad's helmet, holding it close. She knew that Waters had a new helmet. She saw it when her mother had allowed her to be a ghost for a small bit of time. This one held memories, good and bad. It gave her something to ground herself. Killer. Dad and others had killed Elia. Dad was cold, methodical. She could sense that. He enjoyed the power he had in the moment, the ability to move people around as if they were chess pieces. Was it really her dad then? Or was it the person he was trying to change from? Light? Frog. Oh, right, she wasn't dead anymore. Light was in the hospital with Frog and Feather. She gave a wary smile. "Sorry," she rasped. "How much time did I lose?" Frog and Feather shared a look of confusion. Light sighed softly. "Sorry, never mind," she said softly, her ears pinning back. She turned away. She had gone to take a step, but her legs gave out from under her. Light tumbled to her knees. She cursed softly. Frog rushed to Light's side, a worried expression on her face. Light gave her friend a reassuring smile. With Frog's help, Light got back up to her feet. Her friend held her up as they walked out. There, in the lobby of the hospital, was Truffle. The dragon could tell that they were on the verge of a panic attack. Truffle turned to the group of three. Light walked over, letting go of Frog in the process. She pulled them into a tight hug. She could tell that Truffle was fighting back tears, but they returned the hug. She let them go and offered a small smile. "I hope that you and the others held the hospital up while I was gone," she joked. Truffle snorted, then laughed. "You came back from the dead and this is the first thing you say to me?" they said in between laughs. Light chuckled, her ears fluttering slightly. "Someone has to keep you on your toes," she said softly. "Of course," Truffle scoffed. The mood had been lightened with Light's joke, even if it was ever so slightly. Light's smile faded. "I want to go home," she said softly. Everyone tensed up. "Light, I can't recommend that." "I need to return home," Light interrupted. "I need to see Balios." Frog and Truffle seemed to understand. Feather and the others didn't. Frog offered a small, nervous smile. "I'll walk you back home then," she said nervously. Light shook her head. "I can walk myself." "That's not an option anymore," Feather said, sounding serious. "Why not?" Light asked. "Freya had put in place a mandate." Light's ears perked, her eyes widening. "After the ball, Freya had put a mandate to force a curfew and have people walk in groups of 2 or more," Feather continued. "If you intend to return to the Moontouch Kingdom, you must walk there with someone else." Light stared at Feather. The feathers on all 3 pairs of her wings puffed up. Her mind raced as she thought of the dangers and consequences of such a mandate. To her, it was stupid to have a curfew, and it was even stupider to travel in groups. What if 2 or more of those on Eclipse's list traveled together? Eclipse had proved that she doesn't care about not hurting, not killing bystanders in order to fulfill her goal. Light couldn't think of any positives with the mandate. None. She was glad that Freya was actually doing something, but it just seemed illogical to her. "Light?" Feather said. Light blinked, her head snapping up. "Oh, sorry, I was thinking," she said softly. Feather tilted her head. "About the mandate, I'm guessing?" she said. "It seemed to be something you were thinking about quite hard. Would you mind sharing your thoughts?" Light hesitated, then shook her head. "Another time," she said softly. "I want to get home." "Rest first," Truffle said, their tone firm, "and get something to eat. You're barely able to stand. Where's your cane?" Light winced and looked away. "Likely ash," she murmured softly. Everyone sighed, knowing that she was likely right. She'd been bringing her cane everywhere. It was likely destroyed in the explosion since she'd brought it with her. Light's stomach growled. Frog and Truffle chuckled. "I'll get you food," Feather said. "What do you want?" "Soup, no meat, thank you," Light said, a nervous smile on her face. She avoided look at anyone. "Not food, not food, not food. They are not food. Don't attack them. Don't eat them. Not food." "Okay," Feather said with a nod. "I'll go get that. You sit down and rest." Light nodded. She sat in the lobby with Frog and Truffle. They spoke of what she missed. Freya's changes, the formation of the guard and security forces, and so on. Light tried to focus on what they were saying. She truly did, but her mind kept wandering to other thoughts. "Feed. Eat. I need to eat. Food is coming. Food is right next to me. No, they are not food. A pinching pain brought her out of her thoughts. Light looked down at her arm and saw that her claws had dug into her arm. No, her other arm. Or the same arm. A arm. Her ears lowered. She quickly stood and walked to the closet with medical supplies. She locked the door and hid there as she tended to her injury. Light tried to calm herself down, tried to think of something else. It wasn't until she smelled the scent of soup that she could trust herself to have enough control to go out and eat the soup Feather had gotten for her. It took 5 bowls of soup for the hunger to go away. When she didn't feel the hunger anymore, Light relaxed. She noticed that it was sunrise. They were able to leave the building now. She stood up with Frog. The sun is coming up, Light commented. I'm going home. I'll go with you, Frog said softly. Light nodded, knowing that she didn't exactly have a choice. She and Frog left the hospital together. They followed the river in silence, crossed the bridge, passed Riverside, and made the long walk to the moon-touched kingdom. When Light saw Balios' tower, she froze. It was in ruins. Her ears lowered. She let go of Frog's arm and ran towards the tower. Balios! She screamed. Light came to a stop before a tree, her ears lowering a bit further. Her hand shook as she reached out and gently placed it on the trunk. She felt the anger, the despair, the pain. Tears fell down her face as she sat down at the base of the tree, curling against it. She hugged Waters' helmet and sobbed. That was where Frog found her. Light knew. She didn't have to look. Balios wasn't here. A creeping feeling threatened to choke her. She didn't feel safe here, not anymore, not with Balios gone. She cried until she couldn't anymore. Light, Frog said, her voice soft. Come on, let's get to your house. Light nodded slowly. She stood up with Frog's help. She clutched her dad's helmet tightly as they both walked to her house. They walked down in the basement. Light was just about tackled by her dogs. She chuckled softly. She petted and fed them all, happy to see them just as much as they were to see her. Wow, I didn't know you had so many dogs, Frog said as she petted a few of Light's dogs. I love dogs, Light replied with a kind smile. Frog smiled. Light's smile faded slightly. Frog, could you help me pack some things? Her friend blinked. Wait, what? Why? She asked. Balios isn't here, Light replied softly. I don't feel safe here without him. I'll stay at SUNC. Frog's gaze softened. Okay, she said softly. Let's pack what you need. Light nodded. Together they packed clothes, Light's loom and sewing kit, her fabrics, and a couple of books, and Light's jewelry box. Light had gone into her room to find her alchemy and spell books when she noticed a book on her bed with an allium. Her ears twitched. She walked over to her bed and picked up both items. She tucked the allium into her hair. Light hesitated and then opened the book to read it. Her ears started to ring. She stared at the words written. She couldn't take in any air. It felt like the world was spinning. Balios had brought her back. He had brought her back. At what cost? Was he dead? Did he die to bring her back? She dropped the book. She stumbled back until her back hit the wall. Sliding down the wall, she sat down and pulled at her hair. Balios was dead. He was dead because of her. It's my fault. I died and he had sacrificed his life to bring me back. I don't deserve it. I should have... Light! Frog. Oh gods, Frog. Light's head snapped up, her ears lowering when she saw that Frog was in tears. Frog, Are you alright? Frog asked, interrupting her friend. You're bleeding. She was bleeding? Light looked down and saw her right arm. When did her hands move? Her claws were covered in red and gold blood. Her own blood. There were deep scratches on her arm. Oh, Light mumbled softly. She stood up and numbly walked to a shelf. She took down her medkit. She was quiet as she cleaned off the blood and cleaned out the cuts. Then she bandaged the injury. Not the editing during this. Frog walked over to Light, obviously concerned for her friend. Are you alright? She asked. Light tried to speak, but no sound came out. Her wings folded close to her head as a pained expression crossed her face. It's alright, Frog said quickly. You don't have to talk about it. Light hesitated, then she nodded. She finished bandaging her arm and finished packing her bag. Together with Frog, she left her unfinished house. As they were passing Balios' ruined tower, Light stopped. She turned to the tower. She hesitated, then walked in. It was easy to find what she was looking for. One of Balios' masks, specifically the wolf skull mask. She used her magic to shrink it down and change it into a bracelet with its charm being the wolf skull. She put it on her right arm and pulled her sleeve down. She returned to Frog and they continued their walk to the SUNC facility. It was another long walk, this time with a few stops to both rest and have something to eat. Light was silently thankful. Frog didn't notice when she snacked on a couple of poisonous flower petals. She didn't want Frog to freak out about her health when she was mostly immune to the more dangerous effects of the poisons. When they got to the sea, Light got a boat for both of them. Soon, with the use of a little magic to make the trip faster, they arrived at the SUNC facility. The suffocating fear Light had been feeling since she learned that Belios was gone from the planet faded enough to allow her to relax. She was glad to see the familiar place. While it was a workplace for her, one of 3 really, it had also become a sort of home for her, especially in the time before the ball. Frog pulled the boat close to the landing and Light got out, taking her bag with her. I can manage from here, Frog, she said softly, glad that she was able to be vocal again. Are you sure, Light? Her friend questioned. At Light's nod and reassuring smile, Frog pulled away from the landing and sailed away. Light watched her friend leave before summoning her crow, Allium, to have her follow Frog and make sure she got home safely. She sighed softly and turned to the entrance of the facility. Reaching out with a bit of magic, she could sense that Waters wasn't in the facility. She sighed softly and entered the facility. Light took the elevators down to the lower levels. The labs looked orderly, if a bit cluttered with papers. She wouldn't be surprised if Waters had been busy with another task for the keepers. She sighed softly and walked into the garden. Pausing, she took in the sight. It felt like it was only yesterday that she was here, barely knowing Waters and still decorated his garden for him. It seemed so simple back then. Light quietly made her way to the walkway above. She looked down at the garden from the height. Then she sat on the railing after placing her bags down. She let her feet dangle over the edge. A small smile formed on her face as Light remembered the time she had spent with her dad. She clutched his old helmet tightly as she rested it in her lap. The first tour of the facility, the tornado, helping him repair the damages to his suit and equipment, joining the facility as a staff member. It was odd at first to realize she saw Waters as her dad. Really, it made her nervous and scared. She liked Waters as a friend and as her dad. But she was thankful for the relationship they had now. Light sighed softly, her tail curling around her. She gently placed her head against her dad's old helmet, wings curling around her. She listened to the sounds of the facility, the dull sounds of the sea, the quiet hum of cameras, heavy footsteps against the floor. Light's eyes opened. She looked towards the stairs. Waters stood there, staring at her. She stared back. She lifted her legs over the railing and stood up. She walked up to Waters, her hold on his old helmet tightening slightly. Her mind whirled with questions and worry. Will he turn me away? Does he even think that it's me? Was he hurt in the attack on Elia? Had he been sleeping? Hi, Dad, Light said, her voice soft, barely above a whisper. Waters didn't respond, not for a long time. She observed as his hands clenched and unclenched. It was as if he was trying to regulate his emotions. Light's ears lowered. She could guess his thoughts, or at least one thought in particular. He thought her to be an imposter, someone using her identity to trick him. She felt like an imposter. She didn't feel like the person she was before her death. Her grip on her dad's old helmet tightened. Who did this? Waters finally asked. Light's ears pinned back. There were 2 answers to this question. She couldn't answer if she took it as who killed her. She didn't know, but she could guess. But she wouldn't say those thoughts aloud. As for who had revived her, Belios. A sharp and loud bang made Light jump, her breath catching in her throat. Angry at her. Her fault. It was her fault for making him upset. Light looked and saw Waters had punched the copper framing of the wall, leaving a good dent. She stayed silent, watching him. He rested his head against the wall in the dent he had made. He was breathing heavily, shown by the movement of his shoulders rising and falling along with the bubbles in his tank. Eventually, he pulled back and shook out his hand. He didn't even look at Light when he spoke. I need time. Light felt her heart twist painfully. She felt tears form in her eyes. She stayed quiet, didn't protest. What could she say? It was her fault anyways. She shouldn't have died. Light! She knew something that would result in death was coming, just not when or who. She still could have planned accordingly, taken precautions, and not trust that maybe Freya would have actually done something to boost security. She was a fool, and she blamed herself for it greatly. Light watched her dad leave, still refusing to look at her. He paused just before the hallway to the dining hall. I'm going to make breakfast. I'll let you know on the intercoms when it's done, he said, sounding like he was trying to sound calm. Light watched him go. She debated on leaving, going somewhere else and hiding away. She didn't. She couldn't. She has nowhere else to go. So she sat down on the floor, placed her dad's old helmet next to her, put her head into her hands, and cried. Her wings wrapped around her, her tail curled around her body. She felt alone. So very alone. It scared her. She wanted a hug from her dad. She wouldn't get that hug. Ah! My heart.
This should be called Sad Tuesday at this point.
For real! Why is everything so sad? Oh, and we have a
Pain and stuff.
we have a Waters thing next. Wait, hold on. I've got a ping.
Me so much.
Sorry, having some... Staff are planning things without me there.
Uh-oh.
Alright, stop planning things when I'm not there! I can't answer questions and be like, no, don't do that! Okay. The Speaker of the Tides. Virgil isn't watching the stream, but that sounds like something from his RPG. Steps, once steady, begin to falter the further travel takes them. Water slows entirely as he enters the dining pod. He looks down at his hands, but they're shaking. No, his vision is. A hand shoots out to the side to catch himself against the wall. Lately, he's been seeing things, the blending of dreams into reality from a lack of decent sleep. Usually, they're not refined, not detailed. There are very obvious pieces that would tell him that it's not real so that he could ignore it. There wasn't that here. That was light? That was my daughter? Belios dug my daughter from the depths of peace to throw her back into this doomed reality they've been living in? To be tormented, hurt, and potentially killed again. Breakfast. Promised breakfast. Is it even the hour for breakfast anymore? What time is it? Like everything else, the question is disregarded. The only important thing is making sure Light has a fresh meal, a comfortable bed. He doesn't know if she's gotten that yet since returning. He couldn't ask her. He was scared the second he let himself believe it in her presence would be the second she'd disappear. He should have asked. He should have done more. Don't let it happen again. Breakfast omelet, bacon, sliced apples, bread rolls, fried fish, baked potatoes. Not too much. Don't overwhelm her with food. Plate, tray, cup of coffee, cup of tea. Siros, prepare sleeper pods 1 and 2 and inform Light that breakfast is ready. He calls out mechanically, standing still and staring at the table he prepared for them. Are the plates too close? Would she feel comfortable eating across from him like this? Will it feel like he's angry at her? Should he move the plates so they can sit next to each other? But then would that trap her in? What does he do? What can he do? Dad? Words unsure, hesitant. Waters breaks from his frozen state to turn his gaze towards her. She's holding his old helmet like a lifeline. Her eyes are tired, scared. Did he cause that? Light, spoken in a breath. Did some part of him think she wouldn't come? That he would find out then? It was just his imagination? I didn't know what you want, so I made some options. You don't have to eat all of it, or any of it, if you're full. I can put what you don't eat away for leftovers, he states through shaken nerves as he steps clear from the table so he can see. Then he slides into the booth where he'd face the way she came in, but he lowers his gaze when he sees she is still not moved. I didn't have anything poisonous in the drawers. It would be a hazard for other employees who would use this as a communal space. I didn't want to leave you here alone long to... Waters. Dad! Light has moved closer to him by the time he looks up. She's got a hand on the table as the other slides his old helmet onto the booth seat on the side she's taken. Despite the anxiety present in the look she gives him, she smiles, what tries to be reassuringly. It's okay. And that's as simple as it is. Both of them are too raw to continue the discussion. Waters just stares at her hand as she uses it to support her getting into the seat. Actions and motions of something real. He feels the table shift with emotion under his crossed arms. It adds fact, reality. It grounds him. Not enough. He shuts his eyes, then looks down at the plate he set up in front of himself. With a sudden decision made, he extends his hand across the table, palm up. Oh! A raid? We haven't had a raid in ages.
Yay!
You guys like lore? Welcome to Lore Tuesday.
Welcome to Lore 2. Yeah! Yeah!
You guys, we're being attacked. Let me explain. So this is an SMP that is very heavy, like, writing, creative stuff, lore, focused, roleplay focused thing. So if you're interested in playing Minecraft, you don't have to be involved in the story. You also don't have to be involved in the Minecraft part of it. There's something for everyone here. But yeah, if any of you are interested in that, I'm gonna put the link to our Discord there. Don't welcome them to hell. This is not hell. This is a very happy stream. Nothing, no angst here.
This is Sad Tuesday.
It is Sad Tuesday.
So funny. Okay, so something people do here is
Enjoy your night.
that Lights and CJ post a thing whenever you join the Discord server and you text in general is a welcome to hell gif.
So please do not be scared of that. It's
No,
just
maybe be
normal.
very
Okay,
scared.
yeah.
This is a scary place.
Okay. Let me just say, that was my job first, and then Light started stealing it, and then, like, a few other people started stealing it, so...
You took
I can confirm I stole it.
Yes, you did, Truffle.
You're just slow.
I have no remorse.
You're European, that's not your fault.
Alright, we're gonna continue on. Let me give some context. If I don't know if any of you are actually staying, but if you feel like it, this is like a found family, father, daughter. Daughter had died, but was brought back by her brother, who sacrificed himself to bring her back. Father has just found out that she's alive again. They're reuniting. He's awkward. Shut up,
father's a
Cece.
jug of
Did not
water.
use his goo.
Cece, shut up about the goo.
Oh my god.
Okay, continue. Did you have something else to say?
The father is a jug of water.
We don't need to go. We don't need to explain anything right now. No advanced.
We have to.
The goo man watches. All right, continuing. With a sudden decision made, he extends his hand across the table, palm up. He's barely able to look up at Light, but when he does, he sees her confusion staring down at it. He wills her to get it, to understand. He can't find the words. He's terrible at this. Then she gets it. Hello, Dino. Welcome. Welcome to lore. If you like Minecraft SMPs with lore, this is lore. Although maybe you're already in the server. I don't know. I don't know who anyone is. Welcome. Continuing. Slowly, she places her hand on top of his, and he feels it. He closes his grasp around it. A light, careful hold. No pun intended. Delicate to not harm her, but still put enough pressure to feel that she's there, that this is real. His hand shakes. He lowers his head and takes a breath. I'm sorry. Words spoken so quietly, barely understood. I'm sorry, repeated in a forced, stable tone. I'm going to need to hold you like this for a bit longer. Oh, my heart! Because somehow showing affection in a time when she needs to be eating, sleeping, or recovering is like an obstacle, that the care he could show for her would get her in her way, would not help her. It is not common on Aelios Dorsa to talk, hug, or hold hands at the dinner table. Times of eating and working are reserved for the straight action of getting something done. Comfort and affection usually waits until after. He could not wait, and for that he feels wrong. For a moment, Light is still. Shock, surprise. This is not a way she has ever seen Waters in. Even when she saw him in the one instance before he returned, he was strong, terrifying even. But here, right now? You're new to the channel! Welcome!
Welcome to hell!
Welcome.
Join our Discord if you like angst and doomed yaoi.
That's so real.
Although doomed yaoi was last season.
That's good. This season's doomed happiness in
Hypothetical
general, I
doomed
guess.
Yuri. And disco balls, yeah. We've had a lot of angst today, and I haven't brought out the disco balls yet. We have doomed Yuri, hopefully. You all hope. Alright. Maybe I'll make a second character next season. That's just for some good old doomed Yuri. We need that. Anyway,
Yes.
continuing. And Freya hitting the gritty. Well, I'm not hitting the gritty today. Not today.
You're hitting the free.
I'm hitting the Freya. Alright. Her hands hold him back, tight, and she pushes herself up out of the booth. She stumbles her way over, having to use the hold of his hand to move his arm away so that she can push over and practically fall into the booth on his side. She swings her other arm around the back of his neck and sets her head against his shoulder. You... she starts to say, through a choked-up tone. You don't have to apologize, Dad. It's okay. It's okay. The reaction is instantaneous. Waters pulls his arms around her tight, possibly knocking plates or utensils around. It doesn't matter. He holds her like she's the world in his grasp. Oh, my heart! Their hands are still clasped together, so it's a little bit awkward, but he forgot to let go. He can't. He holds her, as his body racks with the short sobs he hasn't let himself release since she went away. To do what he had to do to avenge her, he had to be strong. But here she is now, telling him it's okay, Perhaps it really was the third time the charm, because suddenly it is. They stay like that for a while, as food grows cold, as tears add to air and water as if to refill back the air pockets designed so that this facility could exist underwater. They stay like that until Waters manages to pull himself back together enough to pat her on the back and remind her to eat, to sleep. He assures her that he's not going to work for the rest of the day, that after she's settled in somewhere they can sit and talk or read, do something together to pass the time so that for a second they can have a normal moment before the world realizes she's back. Be family, before the world calls them back to the work they are needed for. However, after Light finishes eating, heads to the sleeper pods to set up the nests and blanket forts they joked about, Waters finds himself alone for a moment there, still in the dining hall, wrapping up the leftovers for the fridge or freezer. Emotion has left him exhausted. Relieved, but exhausted. This is one of the odd days of the week where he'd go to the tavern to meet up with Cam. Weekends are always on, but they alternate what weekday they go every week to fit it in with their respective work schedules. Last week he was there Sunday and Wednesday. This is certainly the kind of news he would want to speak to the other man about, even if he won't be attending this day. So with that, he fishes the comms device out of his pocket and takes a quick search for Cam's contact number. It buzzes a couple times as it dials for him. Then he sets the device on the counter on speaker while he finishes packaging the rest of the food. It usually takes a couple of rings for Cam to pick up. He's quick today. "Sup?" Cam's voice comes through on the line. Light came back to life. Waters doesn't waste any time. There's a silence for a second, a natural processing pause. Then there's a thump like a book slamming shut. "Oh shit, really?" Waters picks up the comm device and walks away from the dining hall, heading towards his personal sleeping pod. He should grab some things to make sleeping in the other pod more comfortable. "That's good news, right? Are you okay?" Steps pause. He thinks about it for a second, about the breakdown, about believing for several minutes that he was hallucinating more clearly than ever before. He takes the comms device off speaker and takes the water elevator out of his sleeper pod to head towards the outside main entrance. It gives space, most he can get to address more of his thoughts. "I don't know. I don't feel it," Waters finally says as he pulls himself up onto the dock. "Not entirely okay? Kind of okay? I don't know. Cried like crazy. My brain's addled by that." He goes silent to listen to Cam, turns his eyes to the camera on the wall behind him. Then he moves a hand to his bag and pulls up the tablet to turn that specific camera off. Nobody needs to look back on this. "Yeah, I guess." With a sigh, he looks over to the setting sun. He doesn't look directly at it, but his eyes hurt. His vision is still shaking. When was the last time he slept? Did he conk out for a few seconds in that hug earlier? His shoulders tense and he sets down his comms device as he processes the question Cam had presented to him. What to do next? With the earpiece he uses to hear the comms, he doesn't really need to hold it up to speak or hear him, so he leaves it sitting on the floor as he stands up on the edge of the dock. Balios ripped her from the soil and abandoned her here like this. The steady rise of anger, the shifting waves across a lazy sea becoming less still, calm in the presence of his fury. It rises. It pushes up from the sea level into a growing wave like a small tsunami. He does not see it. He does not pay it mind. I should hope to do something about that. A glow beneath the skin. His eyes are unfocused, dropping from the skyline to the depths below. The stinging burn across the arm. A rising light. It snakes up his arm like in a spiral. Climbs the side of his face, but he does not see it. Large, watery arms fill the space around him. It looms over him with a smile. It watches him with its eyes of luminescent blue, the same color as the lights that climb him. The bioluminescence of nature, brighter than it would be even in the dark. Waters is silent. He's listening. "No, there is nothing you need to do." A reassurance, a shake of head. Then he locks eyes with the waves. He sees the anger in his soul reflected back at him in her eyes. She tilts her head at him with that smile before pulling her arms up away from him to interlock her fingers and use them as a headrest. She says nothing. She doesn't have to. "I just want to talk to him." There's a creak somewhere behind him. His vision snaps back to focus, and he turns his head quickly to look. The water drops, splashes. He flinches at it, raising his arm against it instead of fully turning. He stands, confused as he looks between the 2 points, the ocean before him and the facility entrance behind him, ultimately seeing nothing. But he sees the glow on his arm as it fades and snaps a hand over it, covering it. His shoulders shake. What was I saying? I can't come to the bar tonight. I'm gonna be with my daughter. Waters looks down at his comms device in the dock and bends down to pick it up, looks it over. When did he set it down? He tucks it into his pocket and lets out a sigh. "Thanks. I hope you have a good one too." The call ends like that. He stays standing there for a moment, his eyes returning to the horizon. He really needs to get some sleep. Would Light be offended if he immediately passes out the second he lands in whatever pile of blankets and pillows she set up? Probably not. With a shake of his head, he steps off into the ocean to use one of the water elevators at the sleeper pods to more quickly get to her for the day of rest. It will go well, even if it is mostly sleep. What do you mean, oh, get it, Peepaw? What does that mean, Cecil?
Dude, I'm gonna cry.
Same. Oh my
Light.
god. Why is this
Yeah.
angst SMP? This is angst Tuesday, sadness Tuesday. What is going on?
Light when I get you light.
I mean, Freya, we were supposed to have something wholesome, but then I forgot to write it, so never mind.
Yeah, I recommend looking at the picture.
Yeah, what is in this picture? This isn't like
Is that
Elia,
waters?
or is it water?
No.
No.
It's just waters, I think.
Oh.
I see waters. Like a
Do you?
really fuzzy outline of them.
And there's also something messing with the ocean here.
The Wave Seeker. Fuck.
Yep.
I'm lost.
Evil Moana. Evil Moana.
Evil Moana.
Yeah, basically.
All right. From Grim
forgetting.
Remembrance Day. Does anyone want to read this one?
I can.
All right. It's short.
Let me just. If it'll open for me.
I'll read the next document as long as it isn't like several thousands of pages long.
Oh no, the next one is pretty short. It's from one of my friends, so.
It's a page and the wording is very big.
Cute.
What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Stood amongst the trees, always near but never close to others. So many lanterns, and yet they barely amount to all those who are gone. So many of them had lost everything to the extinction. How are they able to continue like this? To celebrate death instead of fear or dread it? Maybe they came to accept it long before now. Perhaps they felt as if nothing could ever change it. Mortal lives are so interesting. To live, to breathe, to love, to die. Is this what it means to be human? Is this what made us real, not our blood or bones, but our birth and our deaths? What is the story without an ending? Did I lose anyone that day, the day the stars dimmed and the universe whispered its goodbyes for silent ears? Was there anyone beyond this life awaiting me, or will I simply be left in the dirt with nothing but worms to keep me company? My son, my friend, what will become of them when the rot overcomes and they become nothing? Who remember us in years to come, as we remember those who we light lanterns for? Perhaps I let my mind run wild far too much. Is this celebration not to celebrate their lives and our survival, and to honor life and death? I turned to Michael, a small lantern decorated in crayon, held gently in his hands. Carefully, I picked up the child and held him in my arms, lighting the single lantern and watching as he lifted it into the air. The images of faces swirled as it flew off. One side had our friend, without the eyes and the rot. One side was a woman holding a tray of purple cookies, another a zombie man with part of his skull showing, and the final side was a piglin warrior in a red cape. Were these all people who Michael had lost? We watched the lantern join the others far high in the sky. Michael rested his little head on my shoulder as he slowly fell asleep. Just like that, we went home, leaving the celebrations and memories behind us.
Michael!
Michael!
Dude, why is this a?
Why is
We
this
usually
so
have
sad?
at least one happy thing.
I'm tearing up! Michael! Freya is the godmother of Michael. I need her to go visit him.
You need to lock in.
Guys, I think we have to lock in. It's almost Valentine's. We have to lock in.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I can read this one.
Okay, I'm gonna recover. Also, you all like being here, right? You volunteered to be in this VC. Tell tell Bob that you're not my
you kidnapped
slave.
me! You kidnapped me!
No! I did not! You like being here!
No, I don't!
Brett, our
You're not
team
helping
forces
my
us
case
all.
here! You all like it! And
We're all kidnapped.
Debatable.
you're being fed, and you're not being kept in my basement.
We are kept in a shed! We are
Please
kept in a
feed
tool
us,
shed!
please.
Juniors are being kept in a shed. Okay, it's this new stuff you're keeping in your basement.
Freya, we are running out of rations. We are running out
I
of
just
bread.
made you mac and cheese yesterday. Was that
Did
not
you
enough?
yesterday?
Did you eat
Yesterday,
Oh,
you
wow.
haven't fed us today.
What do you want today? I'll make you whatever you want.
Or,
Spaghetti.
Hot dogs it is.
Food. Oh, what?
No bun.
okay, what about pizza? Light Lucky, do you like pizza?
Yeah.
Give us pizza.
You know what? Hold on. Give me 2 minutes.
Sends them stuff to review.
Okay,
The Junior
well,
Low Helpers.
okay, well, there was pizza, but Virgil ate all of the large pizza.
Oh, it's okay. We'll just
Okay.
I cannot cook. The staff are
They
going to
shriveled up in the corner.
struggles.
Light, I'll share my last piece of bread with you. And
No.
Lucky too. We can split
Who's
it
like,
into
who-
thirds.
What? Who said
That'd be amazing.
lied? No, Marcella loves Freya's cooking. She's actually very good at baking. I don't know if she's good at cooking. She's great at baking.
Infinity Nikki servers are down.
The what servers?
The Infinity Nikki servers are
Oh,
down.
that's too bad. All right, Truffle, read us.
Oh, okay,
this-
wait, lock in. Okay. Final steps. Finally, at last, my plan is so close to being done. All I need is a few people to exchange for this work. I already have my trustworthy helper, so she will be easy to convince. I think I know someone who I can borrow. I was outside following Millennia and overheard some people talking about a meeting. What meeting, you ask? Well, quite frankly, I didn't care enough to listen, and they sure talked a lot about it. But something did catch my attention. Kron? No, do not go after Kron. Alright. Kron sure had some things to say. They talked about them for a while. Apparently Croy is gone again. Shocker. And they ran off quite upset. My poor Kron. It does break my heart seeing them like this, it really does, but it helps me out a lot. Kron will be easier to convince to help out since he is upset and alone. I haven't visited Kron in a while. I should bring food. I know he loves carrots. I have my ways. I know they will be so happy to see me. Who isn't? I'm thinking of leaving Millennia after their last encounter. Everything must go too perfect so that Kron will help me out like the good and helpful soul they are. Maybe I should bring a gift too? Something non-flammable. I wouldn't want another village blaze. If Croy actually taught him something for once. I started so badly. Let me redo that sentence. If Croy actually taught him something for once. Haha, I'm so funny.
Leave the children alone.
Child alone.
Alone, I am going to come find you. I am going to come find you. I don't know who you are.
Alone.
Leave Kron alone. I don't care about the other children. Leave Kron alone.
Yes,
Leave.
I am so glad I am not the only one. I literally said, if Krong gets hurt, I'm sending Light after them to kill them.
Oh my god, Freya, you whipped out the balls.
I'm whipping out my balls for this one.
You whipped out your balls.
I almost said I whipped out my balls for the children. No.
No! Someone clip that! Someone clip that!
Because I'm mad about people hurting the children.
Clip it.
Someone clip it! Someone clip it!
Yeah,
Someone clip that!
I'm clipping it. I'm clipping it.
We're gonna get fired.
You're getting fired!
Disco. No! No! Do not do that! I don't even have balls!
Officially canceled.
Cancel.
And if I did have balls, I wouldn't show them to children.
Guys, guess how many doubloons I have?
50,000.
Bajillion.
690.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Nice.
6.
All right,
9.
Oliver said that
Ow.
this one was not angsty.
Are you
Can I
sure
read
about
it?
that?
We have hope. Stop flashing my balls. They're so colorful and fun. Look at the quotes channel. No, I'm not looking at the quotes channel. Mods, delete that. Delete any quotes that Bob puts in the quotes channel.
Oh my god.
Mika!
What?
What is that clip?
No.
Admins
What
ban
would you do
Mika.
if it's your staff doing it?
Ban Mika to the shed.
No, don't put her in with us, please. I'm begging you.
all
We're
summer.
There's a punishment for the. Oh, Freya, you're giving the junior lore helpers a punishment for having to freaking
Hi.
hang out with me and my unhinged ass. Are you sure you want to?
You all
finish the
deserve
junior?
Please.
to suffer.
Please.
All right.
Please.
What did we do?
From
We're
Oliver.
starving.
Water break.
Guys, shh.
There's so much that
Oh.
needs to get done. No time for messing around. Oliver had lots of chores that had built up while he was away, that to him all needed to be done immediately. What do we have? What do we have? Let's see. Check on all my animals, stitch my coat back together, send out tea invites to Frog and Feather, help Lucky clean up, fix the therapy hole, restock the carnival prizes, and talk to Freya about the group discussion. He double-check the list and get to work on the animals. Oh goodness, I am so glad that all of you are still alive and well. I wonder who was taking care of you while I was gone, since Lucky said that she wasn't. That's not ominous. Lucky had taught him how to sew recently. It was messy, but it would work from now. Old circus tent scraps will just have to do. He'd sit down and write the tea invites, working hard to make sure each word was perfect. Frog and Feather have been through so much recently. They deserve a break. I can't be selfish and just avoid Frog. Oliver went to help Lucky clean up her cabin, seeing that she wasn't home, and he just cleaned it up himself. She'll be mad at me later, but this place was a real mess. Alright, now that just leaves fixing the therapy hole, restocking prizes, and talking to Freya. Oliver would feel that his mouth was getting a bit dry. Maybe I should take a water break. No time. I've still got more to do. Therapy hole wasn't too terrible to fix, as it really just included finding a ladder. Goodness, my head is throbbing. I should be okay for now, though, I think. This is a drink water, this is sponsored by Drinkwater. I don't know how old that water bottle is, but drink water, everyone.
No.
What if I drank coffee?
No, that makes you more thirsty. The prizes were
Aw.
picked out and meticulously placed among the shelves and hooks of the carnival stands. Now just Freya. Whew, okay, I'm a little dizzy. I really should at least go drink some water, or just a quick swim. He'd look down at the lake and frown, but eventually start heading to town. I can last one more task. It'll be fine. Oliver would look over at the Winterfolmo ruins as he passed by them. Poor Light. I really hope Frog is handling her Oh, my head. What was I saying? He'd take a step and stop. Ah, fuck. I'm just gonna sit down for a moment. It'll be quick. Oliver would sit down on the stairs of the ruins, holding his head in his hands. Gosh, I can't breathe. I haven't felt this bad in a while. My head is spinning. Drink! Water! Footsteps would approach, and he'd look up to see who it was. Are you okay? Oliver would stare at them and squint. What did they say? Who is that? The figure would step closer to Oliver. Hey, are you okay? They'd reach out their hand to touch Oliver's shoulder. Who are you? What are you doing? Don't touch me! Oliver would lash out at them. His teeth leaving streaks of blood on their hand. The figure would back up, looking at their hand, then back at Oliver. Why did you... Oh, I think I understand. They'd use some sort of magic to make Oliver float, carrying him to the closest body of water. Oliver would try to escape this. What is this? Put me down! The figure would drop Oliver into the water. He'd stop, feeling the rush of water on his skin. His breathing would slow down, and he'd shake his head slowly. Goodness, not again. Hey, thanks. He'd look at the person who dropped him in the water. Light. Thank you, Light. He breathed a sigh of relief, looking down at the water swaying around him. He'd pause and quickly look back to where Light was standing. Wait, Light? Of course it's Light. Coming back from the dead to make sure people drink water.
Everybody.
Everyone should go drink water.
I've had 2 water bottles by the time this floor has started. I think I'm very hydrated.
Good. I don't think I have... It's been a while since I drank water. I'll say that. Alright. From Waters. Evacuation protocols. Residents located in the affected regions must evacuate. If your house is located in or on the edge of this storm path, you must evacuate for your own safety. Factions safe to evacuate to include, but are not limited to, Arcturus, Joker's Corner, Animalia, Noctal, Emerald Netherguards, Frostfire, and the Librarians. Leave a day before, be prepared to stay as long as a week. Shelter-in-place protocols. Board up all windows, secure all loose outdoor items, secure all exterior doors, take refuge in a small interior room, closet, or hallway in the lowest level during the storm. If the eye of the storm passes over your area, there will be a short period of calm, but at the other side of the eye, the wind speed rapidly increases to hurricane-force winds coming from the opposite direction. The Solace Weather Services has issued a hurricane watch for the following areas: Moontouch Kingdom, Kindlegrim, Lilac Expeditions, Keepers of Solace. Uh-oh! That's Wednesday. It's tomorrow. I need to put out a thing for the Keepers of Solace. Effective until 2:30 the following day. Message transmission from the SUNC Weather Science Facility. Let me message my faction real quick. Be like, hey, hee hee ha ha, please, yeah, actually, I'm gonna just forward this to Keepers of Solace. Keepers, wait, hold on. What is my thing? It's just called announcements. Dang it. Well, I'll forward it later. Alright, and then we have tape recording transcript. Oh, sorry.
Day 189. The time is 10:30. 2 days ago, on 12/31, they received an alert that weather patterns were increasing off the south coast of the Moontouch Kingdom. In reviewing the data, I personally put out a severe weather alert in anticipation for that. A strong thunderstorm, nothing of greater concern. I took a break for a day following the notification. No concern. Until I looked back at the data today. As of this hour, the storm pattern has not dissipated. It is still sending out scattered storms across the area. Likely these are in less populated areas, but I fear this may be building something greater. If you are hearing this tape message, it means that I believe you are in danger. A storm is coming. I cannot anticipate the exact time of its arrival as of this moment, but I'd estimate it will be soon. Next few days. I wish you to monitor it, reporting any changes that occur, actively over the comms devices. I might not have the reasonable doubt to confirm what this is or will be at this point, but I believe it will be a hurricane. Message end.
Alright. You guys ready for hurricane?
I am
Hurricane
not
Katrina,
ready.
more like Hurricane
I am.
Solace.
Tortilla.
Keepers of Solace doesn't even get that hit that bad. Like, alright, if you're at the community center, you're chilling. Just kidding.
I can't wait for Wednesday.
Yeah, me too. In the eye of of the hurricane. He's quiet.
Oh my god.
From Balios, the Divine. More trauma in this one. Oh, fuck. Death,
Oh,
blood,
man.
violence, not the clown. All right.
Not the clown. I forget. That
Yeah,
we
I
could
love
do
it.
that.
Balios awoke after almost 3 weeks in a coma. After his assault, a rusted prosthetic replaced his arm and leg. He stood weakly up. He wasn't at the tree any longer. He was in a different place. It was a castle or some sort of castle ruin. The outside looked like it was in the sky. He traveled around the castle until he reached the throne room. He stepped in and began walking to the throne. He looked around, noticing many pictures of random beings on the walls. Then he looked at the throne. On the throne sat a figure made of pure light. It was the primordial god of life and light. He was one of 9. The being stood, the light shining to show his true form. It was similar to Aerosol. Sorry, I'm struggling. A nice white dress and heels, and a wide-brimmed hat. So you're the mortal willing to sacrifice his life for another. The bards see you as worthy to ascend, but little do they know you never had to, young bard. The being said as he stepped down down the stairs that led up to the throne. What do you mean I've risked everything to ascend? What do you mean I didn't need to, and why did you call me a bard? Balios said as he was confused. The rusty limbs were not the comfiest, so he was also pissed. Long ago, the primordials, me and the others, made the bards to make Finda lively, one for each element, nature, earth, air, water, death, life, and blood. The blood bards strayed from the path of what was meant to happen, and as the world began to populate more and more, the blood bard fell in love with a woman, and generations later you were born, and now you are the last living blood of the blood bard. He died because he descended, leaving immortality behind to live old. If I do take his place, will I have to be immortal? Balio asked, his head lowering some. Thoughts of having to watch loved ones die over and over again. Not a pleasant thought. No, silly mortal. You will simply become what your bloodline is supposed to be, and since you are half mortal, immortality is impossible for you, the being said, as he stepped past Balios. Okay, good. Balios turned and looked at the being. So how do I fit into the other bards? Simple. Kill the lesser gods. I can't have them trying to interfere with our plans for the reset, the being said, looking at Balios. Kill them, and you'll get actual limbs, not rusty ones. And you won't have to deal with the fake collectibles the lesser gods were trying to give you to ascend. What? What are you talking about? I can't do that. They might hate me, but they have helped me too, Balios asked, stepping closer to the being. It has to be done, mortal. Do it. The being snapped his fingers, and Balios was sent to the area where he first met the gods, the eternal flames still glowing bright. He was hesitant. He didn't want to kill his friends. Well, they weren't his friends, just people who helped him. Malice was the nicest and always there. Romus was just a bitch, and Sethos was the smart one. But to take his place and make sure Light gets home, he must. He has to kill them for his sister. So he made the decision to kill the lesser gods and bring Light back. He stepped to the eternal flame and lifted his left hand, and mist began to surround the fire, dimming it. He then used his prosthetic to open the wound on his left hand, and blood began to twist into the mist. It then began to form a chain. On one end was a hook, and the other was a dagger, all welded together. He picked it up and swung it. The hook latched onto a boulder in the wall, and he pulled it out. It fell onto the flame, smothering it completely, leaving the gods with no way to heal, also leaving himself no room to heal. The noise of the collapse had the gods running to the room. When they saw Balios, they were shocked. They had thought he wouldn't return, but Malice could tell that this was their punishment. But even if it was, he didn't want to go out without some sort of fight. He made his spear appear, putting himself in a defensive stance, and the others soon followed. Romus decided not to flee, making her scythe. Sethos made circular blades from her bracelets. I'm so sorry, Balios said before he swung the chain. The hook lashed onto Sethos' circular blade, ripping it from her hand and catching it in his own before lunging. He wrapped the chain around Sethos' neck, pulling her close and taking the blade and slicing her throat. Balios pulled the chain, taking Sethos' off with it. The other ran at Balios. Balios didn't move. He simply wrapped the chain around his wrist, holding the dagger in his hand. His eyes changed color as he vanished when the two got close. Malice slammed his spear down, making the three appear in his realm, the one with the tree of life floating in the sky. Balios appeared in front of the two. Why are you doing this, kid? We've helped you. Malice was interrupted by the sound of an explosion. He looked over to Romus to see a ball of blood. Romus's body was everywhere. Malice looked over to Balios, seeing his hand outstretched. He watched as the blood moved to Balios, wrapping around his body into a cloak, solidifying into a fabric material. Malice shook his head to shake off the shock before running at Balios. Balios dodged, taking his dagger and slicing Malice in the back. Malice yelled out before turning, only to be met with a fist to his face. Malice stumbled back before he felt a stabbing pain. He looked at Belios, who watched as many spikes stabbed into his body. I don't want to kill you, but I have to see light. I'm sorry, Malice. Thank you for everything, Belios said as a spike shot up to the tree, slamming into the floating tree above, which was the heart of Malice. The tree began to decay, and Belios stepped to Malice. He knelt and took off his hat and placed it on his own. Malice, with his final breath, sent Belios back to Finda. Belios sat down on the ground, and he looked at his chest, noticing the wounds from before, the tree, the chair, etc. All the scars he should have had begun to appear and open. Blood seeped from the wounds and pooled on the floor. He felt himself get tired, then he closed his eyes. Do we ever get a break? Can any of you write anything happy?
No.
Never. Never.
I mean, Freya.
I did kind of.
Freya, I cannot write something happy because everybody will say, "Oh, Rika is planning something evil. She's softening the blow." That's the one reason
I'm gonna fill the
I'm
rest of the season with just fluff. Freya is gonna bake things. She's gonna run her baking class. She and Marcelo are gonna fall in love. Well, they're already in love. They're gonna fall further in love. And you didn't give me that time, haha. And everything. Echo will be defeated, and everything will be happy. The end.
I'm planning to write Truffle being happy and getting friends for who knows how long. I won't. Don't. It's not gonna last forever.
Alright.
Alright,
We know,
CJ.
Truffle. We know.
Alright. Okay. I didn't expect to be writing entries this close together, but I'm a little uncertain about something that happened. Okay, more sure things first. The remembrance for Miss Guide was great. Ribbon Person did an amazing setup, even though I was in the destroyed ballroom. I could see the hole I was in before. After... I stood up and said some things, which I wish I could have done better, but it was just how many people were staring at me. Most I didn't even know. It was only me and Miss Law Woman who spoke anyway. It was better than saying nothing. We all went into the garden after and spoke more. A person named Olvray, or something along those lines, wrote a piece and Ribbit Person read it out. It was nice, even though everyone was strange. That bird guy from the Tower in Moontouch Kingdom was there. He was just staring at us all, though, and didn't really talk. Afterwards, we all went to the tree in the ballroom that was connected to Miss Guide, apparently, and paid respects. I hugged it. It was the closest thing I could do to hugging her again, so it was better than nothing. And then after, we all left. I went to Moontouch to leave the letter. I was going to do so near Miss Guide's house, but I found that big tower in bits and a small white build beside it that was her grave. It was very clean and quiet. I liked it. It was very peaceful. Something that Miss Guide deserved the most. I read out the letter, and I found some flowers outside to leave in there. I promised that I would get fresher ones from the market or grow some myself if I needed to. I ended up falling asleep there after a while talking to her. It was starting to get dark when I looked back outside. Now, onto the part that I was unsure about. Mr. Tank wasn't at the remembrance for Miss Guide. I had wanted to go back to Sunsea to make sure he was safe. I promised Miss Guide to try help him in the letter, and I wasn't going to give up on that now. So, I left and got back to the faction by sunset, and I saw him standing at the edge of the dock. He sounded like he was talking to someone, but I didn't know who. I was about to call out to him to ask if he was okay, but then something weird happened. A wave came up from the water towards Mr. Tank, and it shaped into a person. A woman, I think. She was really tall. Her arms moved to either side of Mr. Tank. Her eyes were glowy and blue. Lights started appearing all over Mr. Tank too, especially his arm. Mr. Tank's voice was off when he spoke. I could barely understand what he said. I think it was not need to do anything, or something close to that. I couldn't tell. The woman shifted a bit, and I moved to look closer, but the damn floor creaked when I did. I had to quickly duck behind a wall just as Mr. Tank looked over. I heard the sound of water splashing too. After a few moments, though, Mr. Tank murmured something I couldn't really understand, then said goodbye to someone. Then another splash. I peered out after that and just saw him swimming to one of the other entrances in the water. It was a bit of a stupid move, but I went to the edge of the dock after he left. I didn't see anything, though. No woman, no moving water shapes, nothing. I'm somewhere else now, not exactly sure where, but I'm just wandering around. I wasn't gonna risk going into the faction after that. If I did, what if Mr. Tank thought I was spying on him? Didn't want to get in trouble with him, I really don't. He's probably feel bad enough already with Miss Guide. I don't want to make things worse. I promised her I would help. And that's what I'm going to try to do. By being near in case he needs something, even though he probably won't even ever ask. Oh, and here's another thing. A hurricane is possible. I just got a message now from Croy's communicating box thing. Hurricane.
The what? Sorry.
I hope. You just said what when I said hurricane.
Sorry, no, sorry. Virgil was saying something. I forgot to mute before yeah, he was just angrily mumbling and I thought he was talking to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, and here's another thing. A hurricane is possible. I just got a message now from Croy's communication box thing. I hope Grumpy Demon will be okay and get away safely. I don't want her to get hurt. Or die too. She's the last person I have home at the moment. Kron.
Oh, Kron. So that's who it was. I was wondering who was there. I was like, is that like Light? But no.
Bro, oh my god.
Oh, there is still a lot left. Well, I can go for another couple hours, I guess.
Can I read this one?
Yeah.
Can I read the global laws?
You can do it. You can do it.
Yippee. Okay.
Oh, we already voted on all these. We don't need to read these.
Yeah, I can summarize them basically.
I guess you can if you want, but like we already we voted on all of these and everything, so we don't have to read them again, unless like you really want to. But considering we have like a lot left.
Yeah. Just simple stuff. Preamble is basically just gonna say everything that like what the keepers kinda are trying to achieve with the Lost Book. Article 1 is fundamental rights, so basically anything that deals with your rights, your possessions, anything that is how you want to handle stuff, basically. Even if like you want to handle by death. Article 2 is going to be factions. Every faction which has rights and how factions should be handled within cross-faction relations, basically. Article 3 is specifically faction leaders, stating everything that a faction leader can't do and how it affects the faction itself. Article 4 is going to be security, basically security handle across each faction. The keepers are going to have their own little security area or security group. Article 5, war. War is not allowed to be declared. Prisoners of war should be treated humanely by enemy forces, aka Geneva Convention. Article 6, the court, basically the rights of the court, what they can and cannot handle. So if anything you guys need to know about this, or if you guys have any questions, just make sure you guys DM me or Lux about this.
Cool beans. All right, the sunset. I can read this. The sunset. Sorry about bad grammar. It's okay. This is all a learning server. Artemis sat on one of the larger roots of the tree, humming softly to herself while watching the sunset. She opens her journal, looking at her past entries to see if any of her entries from Azeroth, but ends up closing it in irritation, unable to find anything, mumbling curses under her breath, thinking to herself. The fuck do I care? Sorry. The fuck do I care so much? I hated that planet. As the sun starts to set, she tucks her journal into the cloak. Solace is beautiful, she sighs softly. Nixon sat down on the ground next to her. It truly is, but in my opinion, there are some more beautiful things, Nixon said with a smile. She looks at him and tilts her head. Oh, like what? She asks curiously, fidgeting with the cloak he gave her days prior. He pats her shoulder and playfully says, I don't know what or who I could be talking about. Don't these people have known each other for like a week, right?
A month-ish.
A month? I don't know. Her face flushed slightly, her ears turning red. She chuckled softly before nudging him playfully. Yeah, sure, Nix. Shifts slightly on the route before looking back at the sunset with a soft smile. He quietly goes behind Artemis and hugs her. You know what? I'll just say it. You're beautiful. He buries his face in her hair. Oh my gosh! You two have known each other for a month! Sorry. I mean, I guess it can happen.
Yeah, you want them to wait 6 years for.
Okay, look. Okay, they were doing this. They were doing this day one. They were doing this day one. That's why I say this.
Yes. Okay, fair enough.
Freya, the staff team needs an HR because my boss keeps flipping me off. I can fire you at any second. You were only there because I put you there. Because I was like, haha.
We really do need human resources. We still haven't been fed today.
Love on Solace? That couldn't possibly be. Freycello hasn't kissed yet!
What about Mira and Dante, gang?
True!
Like
They're the only ones that, yeah. Yes. I got married to a guy I met the day before. They planned the wedding first time we met. That's insane. Bro, don't worry, we got the gays later? Hell yeah. Alright. She giggles softly, leaning into his arms. How sweet. She smiles, closing her eyes, enjoying the small moment. He tightens his embrace slightly. I think more of you than just being beautiful. I think that her ears redden even more before turning slightly to face him. I need to put on romantic music for this. You what? Her grip tightens on the cloak slightly. His face flushes as he finally lets out the words. I think I love you, Artemis. She freezes, tilting her head. It's been... Okay, sorry. Looking at him with a softened expression. How long have you, she whispers shakily. He takes a second, but then responds. Since I realized how you felt. Her face flushes. Wait, how did you know? She mumbles softly, replaying all of their interactions. He chuckles. You were so obvious. I don't look. Okay. Maybe this is just how it's written. Nyx kind of creeps me out. Like, I feel like this is like love bombing, you know? Like Artemis doesn't, has come to this new planet. I'm bringing out my conspiracy balls. Artemis has come to this new planet, has no idea what's going on, and Nixon is like, yeah, I know everything, and also, like, I love you since the day I met you. And also...
Hey, Freya.
Yeah?
Can you remove my 26-minute cooldown in the quotes channel?
No! You can wait 26 minutes. Where did you get a 26-minute time?
It's the thing, the cooldown, to prevent people from spamming quotes. I don't know.
Oh, that's the slow mode. Not doing that.
Oh, man.
Fran, Marcelo,
it's fine. I'll make sure to pre-type the message.
Alright. Okay, conspiracy balls are going away. I'm sorry.
Oliver's probably going to quote it for me.
Nyx reminds me of Freya in the Freak-cello relationship. Freak-cello?
What?
Virgil, are you hearing this? He said, I'm choosing not to. Bob called us Freak-cello. No, don't laugh. Be angry.
I'm bringing out my conspiracy balls at Freya.
Freak-cello.
What? Wait, what'd you say?
What?
You said I'm bringing out my conspiracy balls for this one.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
You deserve to be called out.
Frog, is it violence? Frog, don't open the door! Frog, don't open the door!
Oliver got it.
Okay. Okay. You were so obvious. How could I not know? While letting her go to pat her head. She huffs. My head is not for patting. She turns away. He pulls back his hand and sits back down. Fine, but your shoulder is mine to lay on, okay? He says as he lays his head on her shoulder. She nods. Fine, Nixon. She leans into him, sighing softly. He then whispers into her ear. So, will you go out with me then?
Whispering, stop whispering, stop whispering.
Stop it.
Please.
Smiles
Stop
softly,
it.
running her hand through his hair, pausing slightly to look at him. Yeah, I'd like that. She continues, running her hand through his hair. He smiles as he closes his eyes and says one last thing before falling asleep. I love you, Artemis. She feels him go limp and smiles to herself and relaxes against him. I love you too. She trails off, falling asleep not long after him. At least it's not pain and suffering. It's a happy ending. Who knows? Maybe we'll make them suffer. Enjoy their happiness for now. I think Nyx is evil. Somehow. There's some ulterior motive here. Fanfic acting? What is... And then violence comes out of nowhere with a metal chair!
And he slams Doug Frog!
Alright. From the other Nyx, or no, this is the same Nyx, I don't remember. Anima. This is a different Nyx. Same one? How many Nyxes? Because there's like multiple Nyxes. Anyway, the 7th entry, Sunset. Tonight as the sunset. Oh yeah, this is the same Nyx. I asked Artemis something major because she doesn't... No, this is the person who's making the freaking... The like, transferring body thing. No, Nyx is evil. Nyx is evil.
I thought that was a different person.
Isn't it Anima? Oh no, it's Anima. But it's the same person, different character. That's Anima.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. I was confused by your words for a few minutes.
Anima is evil. Okay.
I do not like Anima because of what they have done to my child, poor Zenithra.
Anima is dead.
Anima's dead?
What?
He died at the ball.
Let's go!
This is how I know I'm the only one who keeps up with most lore.
Yippee! Bring out the balls in celebration!
Celebrate good times, come on! Alright, I wanted to
If only
like a
Uncle
grandma.
died at the bar.
Alright. I could tell for a while. Huh?
Are you kidding me? Anima...
What?
Anima apparently had a clone.
Oh, sorry, I know. You're also loud when you have your headphones on. Sorry. Virgil says I'm being too loud. It's time to whisper.
Please no.
Still, I haven't acted on it till now. As though I enjoy your presence at the
Make
tree.
it stop, make it stop, make it stop.
If what I feel towards her is truly love.
Make it
But
stop!
now, I've just thrown out my doubts and worries and actually asked her, and she's accepted it. No, this outcome was likely. However, still, this feels unreal. I don't even know if a mercenary like me deserves this. I have killed people for money, and even then I wasn't this conflicted. Yes, that may be due to my demonic heritage. Stop forging me. Sounds like
Stop
an accurate-
whispering!
No. I blame Virgil. I'll ping Virgil and tell him to say I can be loud again. But now that I'm with her, What? I'm still being loud? I'm sorry. I'll be really, really quiet. I think it may be good for her if we moved out of the tree to an actual home. However, that would be a very complicated process for me, but maybe for her future I'll make a sense. They comment all the time on I don't care. Ow, I tweaked my neck. Okay. I'll try to be quieter. I'm on the opposite side of the house where everyone is. There's no way they can hear me. Oh, we have an animation or something. Let's go. They're gonna have kids? Who's gonna have kids? Me and Virgil? No. Oh no, Artemis and Nyx. A month later, I'm guessing. Suddenly they're gonna give birth spontaneously. Nyx, your character's banned from my bar.
Is this Birth Tuesday?
Birth Tuesday! It's arrived!
It's happening.
Okay, which would you rather have? Birth Tuesday or the agony and despair we've experienced today?
Me in despair, 100%.
I'll roll 21. I have both.
How old are
Give
you?
me that agony.
Agony and sadness.
You are the
Birth, one
youngest
vote for
person
birth.
ever.
No. Wait, did you set up a poll or something?
No, just I'm looking at chat right now. Oliver's voting for birth. Noelle, birth question mark. So I'm guessing that's a vote for birth as well.
You should set up a poll.
Bagel says birth. Bob is saying birth over and over and over.
Oh yeah, what's the gif about Cam giving birth? Where is it?
Feather says birth. Minx says birth.
The gif about Cam doing what?
Is birth not also agony? CC votes for birth. All right, giving birth, guys. Get ready.
No.
Get ready. I'm giving birth. It's a ball. It's twins.
Someone clip that.
Yes, she'll be in agony while birthing. What? Who is gonna be in agony while birthing? Don't put birth in my mouth. That's crazy. The best white elephant.
This is going to scare people away from the server.
We have 22 people watching right now. People love birth.
Why do we have 22 people watching?
The only reason I'm sticking around is to read the document of a friend.
Bob is still saying birth. Bob, you can stop saying birth. The vote has been cast. What am I hearing? I looked away. My dad just said tie him up. Who is being tied up? What? People are being tied up and forced to give birth? What is going on? Bob is giving birth live right now.
I don't wanna. I don't know if I want to be here anymore.
This is payback for Virgil telling me.
I'm sticking around because I want to read my dog.
Okay. Hold
Only
on.
have 5 more.
Alright, spoiler for a little bit of
I'm
blood.
going to quit the SMP.
Lucky's animation. Here we go. Oh god, that was so loud. Jeez. This is so good. Spike trap. This music is fire, by the way. Lucky fell in a trap. That's so sad.
Don't trust Magos.
That was
May
Magos?
I just...
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah, I would.
Magos.
Magos set that trap.
May I
Guarantee
just say a few things about Magos?
Yeah.
He is stinky. He doesn't pay his employees.
You're all volunteers. No one gets paid.
We have to do a morning ritual on the hospital computers or else they crash.
Oh.
That's fine. There's more
Used his
dogs.
Wait, is
goo.
Light still here? Light's not here. I'm going to go ask the hospital nurses if we should form a union. Because we probably should.
Comet! Comic!
Okay, oh, perfect.
Here we go. And look at this peak art. Look at this peak art. Someone brought in a box of well wishes. Why? Do people really care? This is a light they use to read. Dear Comet, I'm not really sure what happened, but I heard you were in the hospital. I hope you get well soon. I made you some cookies to help with your recovery. Zinnia. Me. The bag being so much brighter than everything else. Oh, we get a smile from Comet. Under the willow tree. Oh! 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 Sorry. Flashbang, y'all. There's more light lore. The smell of grass met- Oh, did you want to read this? No, Light's gone. The smell of grass met her nose. Light opened her eyes and looked around. The place was unfamiliar, certainly not something she had seen on Solace. She looked around. She turned and saw a willow tree. Light tilted her head slightly. She felt a small tug, a pull towards the tree. She walked over. She placed a gentle hand on the tree, felt its magic. Her ears twitched. So you are the pull I've been feeling, she whispered. What?
You're adorable.
What?
All I heard over my music in my head.
Okay, so Freya has gotten a little busy with personal stuff, so
I'm getting yelled at.
we're going to see if I can continue on. It was under the willow tree. Okay. Alright, I'll just start it up again. Alright. I apologize for whoever can't. I won't be able to scroll down on the dock for the stream, so I do apologize for that. But the smell of grass met her nose. Light opened her eyes and looked around. The place was unfamiliar, certainly not something she'd seen on Solace. She looked around, she turned and saw a willow tree. Light tilted her head slightly. She felt a small tug, a pull towards the tree. She walked over. She placed a gentle hand on the tree and felt its magic. Her ears twitched. "So you are the pull I have been feeling," she whispered. A gentle wind made her hair flutter about. Light. A voice. Belios's voice. She turned and saw her brother. Light stared at him, tears filling her eyes. "Light, She didn't let him finish. She ran to Belios and tackled her brother into a tight hug. She sobbed as she clung to him. She felt him wrap his arm around her. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice shaking. "I'm sorry for what I said in our argument. I'm sorry for dying." Light felt Belios squeeze her a bit tighter. "I'm sorry too," he said, "for slapping you." Light opened her mouth to say something. Her eyes opened. She sat up, the blanket falling away. She looked around. She was in a sleeper pod in Suansi. It had been a dream. She felt tears form in her eyes. Light brought her knees to her chest, buried her face into her legs, and started to cry. She missed her brother.
Agony, pain, suffering.
Agony and pain.
I am back. I am alive. I got a little bit yelled at for being too loud. Weirdly enough, it was the Celebrate Good Times that did it. Not anything else. Not saying birth over and over. But we will continue. All right. From Belios, the reset and return. "Hey, bud, you still in there?" the being said as he tapped on Belios's forehead. Belios sat up from the spot on the floor where he had been lying. He was back at the floating castle. His wounds that had been torn open because of Malice's death were now healed. He stood up, and the being rose from the floor. "Good, you didn't die again. Now we can get on to the reset, and you can go home. Let's go," the being snapped, and they appeared in the throne room. Now in the middle stood a pedestal with a smaller version of the world. As Belios stepped closer, he realized it was a smaller version of the actual planet. "How is this possible?" Belios asked. He was confused. He had never seen a throne room in the sky when he was on the planet. "Magic, you idiot." "Oh, Malice? Magic?" The mortals don't see this castle because of the rings around the planet. But that's enough of that. We need to get onto the plan of resetting the planet. Mr. Rose, please take the souls on the planet back to the Soul Garden. Twins, get the bards onto the castle. I'll get the core away from the destruction. The being said, and two beings stepped out of the paintings on the walls. One was a royal-looking male with a red suit and a head of large rose. He had a cane in his left hand. The other was a tall being. The abdomen was split in two and heads as floating eyes, one gold, the other black. "You can't hear me? Am I too quiet? I can do this." Mr. Rose vanished and went to collecting the souls. Let me check my volume. I can turn it up. The twins vanished to gather the bards. The being looked at Belios before chuckling. "I love this part," he said as the two returned. The twins had the bards behind them, and Rose had returned alone. The being reached his hand into the planet on the pedestal, taking the core out. There was a string attached to it, and it was connected to the weeping willow. "Aerosol, I want to rearrange the planet this time, and Seekers start writing the journals for this next reset. We're keeping some of the backstory for this reset. After all, Belios's parents would be so proud he finally reached godhood," the being said. Aerosol stepped out of his painting, looking fabulous as ever, and went over to the pedestal. The Seeker's painting didn't move until a long arm reached out and gave a thumbs up before retracting. Aerosol raised his hand over the planet before spikes bled out from his hand, ripping through the planet, before the spikes began to move and twist, taking the pieces and rebuilding the planet. The moment the planet reshaped, the group appeared on the planet next to the violet willow tree. The dent Belios had made in it was still there. He went up to the tree. The barge did too, not because the value it had to Belios, but because it was their job. The bards held out their hands, magic flowing into the tree. Belios followed 3 strings of magic connected with the tree. The tree began to glow brightly. The leaves swayed in the wind as it let off particles that spread around the planet. Oh, it was a joke? Sorry. Well, I mean, whatever. I can never tell if you're like, Bob, our beef isn't real. I like our funny beef going on. But I can never tell if we're in a bit or for real. So I take everything you say as a bit. I'm so sorry. Okay. Belios stepped away from the trees. The forest that once gone started to grow again. He turned away from the tree until he heard footsteps, different from the beings around him, but familiar as if he had heard them before. He turned and faced the figure. It was Light. Light? He spoke calmly. He was questioning how he could see her, but now he knows she's alive. Light, I'm so... He tried to apologize, but Light had already run into his arms. He felt himself tear up. He hugged her tighter as she spoke. I'm sorry. Her voice was shaky, but she continued. I'm sorry for saying what I said. I'm sorry for dying. Belios hugged her tighter, not wanting to let her go. I'm sorry for slapping you. I didn't mean to. But before the two could continue, the being snapped and Light vanished, going back to where she was. Enough of that. We aren't done. We need to bring back life, and also rebuild your old castle. We can't have your family living in scraps, like your brother. The being made the group appear at the ruins of the castle. Mr. Rose walked into the garden and tapped his cane on the ground as the rubble began to rebuild itself. The twins began to revive Belios' parents, making their souls appear and rebuilding their bodies. Then they began to make more mortal souls and craft their bodies, making people to start the new generation of life. Belios stared at the bodies of his parents on the ground. They hadn't woken. He was honestly thankful for that. The being walked over to Belios. Well, you're useless now, but I guess you did help, so you'll get your limbs back. The being snapped, and the rusty prosthetics fell off his body, and the limbs began to shape back together. His right arm had red sigils forming into the arms after it finished, forming his leg formed back together. Forming. His leg formed back together, and the being was so kind to make clothes cover his leg. All right, shoo now. The being shooed him with his hand, and Belios went flying back. He vanished midair and appeared back on Solace, getting slammed into the tree. He grunted and stood, making his way to his bed and sitting down. He sighed and looked up at the tree. He wanted to go find Light, but he knew something would happen if he tried, divine punishment and all that. So instead, he stood and went downstairs. He made the hole get replaced by a dense floor of mist, then he replaced the hole in the wall with a mist of shadows. He then went down to his basement to set up his furnace and cook himself a meal. He was finally hungry after so long. Hi, Beef. Oh, are you mad because Virgil's
Beef.
making food? Okay.
Beef.
CJ.
All right. Okay. I'll try make this quick because this is very long. I'm sorry. Wandering for so long, unable to see the sun, time begins to lose its meaning. He could have left the entirety of Solace by now. Maybe he had done so multiple times and he never realized. He could have slept right beneath a war. He could have sat right below a faction meeting. He could have been gazing up at the expanse above as a murder happened right above him, or even a victory. It was just him on this vast plain. Him and the quiet. Him, the quiet, and the visions. Belle and Macdara are with him the most often. He'd often sing with Belle, although her voice is so much more distant. Can't understand the words because of this, but he always knows the melody, and the words flow in through memories of the times, like boats along a lazy river. He also just watches and listens to her too, the woman swaying smoothly like the wind itself. Her performances are often quite gloomy, songs about longing and loneliness, dances slow and almost lost, but knowing exactly what to do. It fits her title, and Clog Bronach, a solemn bell. It has a little bit of a ring to it. With Macdara, it is mainly practicing hand-to-hand combat. He still mirrors Croy's attacks a lot, which is frustrating to the ghost in a way, but it does teach the ghost to alter his hits, so he isn't easily brushed off. Besides, any time he got hit himself, it didn't hurt. He doesn't have a body to hurt. It's a similar situation with Macdara, but they just aren't exactly real. Other than sparring, the both would just walk alongside each other, Macdara in more of a march than a walk. However, every now and then, they would relax and sew. but they'd abruptly freeze and shake, then relax and stagger. Corey could only stop beside them and wait for them to straighten up and continue their march, which they always do. Helping them is not allowed, even though the ghost knows that blinking collar was causing it. He tried before. Macdara couldn't get in trouble, so they shot Croy with the pistol and disappeared. Croy had forgotten they hid a pistol on their person. More began to appear the longer Croy stayed here. Sometimes it's Belle who shows him to them, or they pop up on their own. He has counted them. 11 visions altogether, actually, but by the end of this, the ghost has forgotten the finer details of each one, so we will settle to talk about 4, the 4 most common alongside the other 2. Nana. She always has books with her, sitting on the floor in a quite childish manner for someone of her time. She laughs and jokes, and is the yin to Belle's yang. Polar opposites if there was ever given an example, but both artists saw the same. Cree. You know the story already. It's doubtful you remember, however. Duffel bags heavily pulling his shoulders, his axe secured to his belt, the symbol he killed before around his neck. He often tries to climb up towards what's now the temporary sky. He never gets far, and never will. Fakna and Selog. Identical as a crow to another. Fakna, a weapons maker, Selog, a weapons dealer. Of course, they don't work together, for obvious reasons you may figure out eventually. Fakna, Croy always finds him sitting or kneeling, a sword always seeming to be in the works in his hands. A weapon he never finishes. He'd slam a hammer upon the metal, sending only vibrations. He'd dip it into the star below, then retract it to mold it with his bare hands. He chiseled designs that never appeared into the handle. The gentle care in the work reminded Croy of someone. Selog is a bit more of a loose cannon. That's the best way to describe her. When Croy first saw her, she was wielding a giant shotgun that looked unethical, but undeniably recognizable. Other times she wielded more weapons, a sword made with sharpened lizard scales, a whip made of barbed wire, a crossbow of glass arrows with poisons and liquids within. Then when she isn't playing with her toys, she's counting the money in her pouch. If not that, like Cree, she tries to climb free. She is as successful as the other. An entire list given out. That list contained those names. Only one saw it, one that's supposed to be dead. You know who you are. But they aren't important to you all, I'm sure. No, the most important one is no memory, no nostalgic horror of a past. This one speaks, and this one you will hear. This one you will recognize. If you use your heads, you will know me more before you see me. Star below him pulsed and changed, the brightness a contrast to his own body, making him appear as if he was a shadow. I stood a while away, watching as Belle stared at me from the corner of my eye. I could feel her hesitance, her disappointment, but she knew what needed to be done, what needed to be said. And she disappeared with her head turned down, microphone clutched close, her body turning to colored wisps that danced around before plunging down into the core, where the others had gone before her. My intention returned to him ahead of me. He had sat up and was looking at me. He spoke. His voice echoed and changed from what I remembered. It was similar to, "There you are. I was waiting for you to make your appearance. I'm glad you figured it out." I walked closer, my hands resting upon the insides of the opposite elbow. He stood as I continued, a slight wobble to his stance. It was to be expected. I didn't comment on it. I thought things might have still been fuzzy. The furthest parts are, but that is childhood. Barely anyone remembers such things. I hummed at his response, looking over him quietly. The same jumper, the same markings. His condition was terrible, yet he was still here. I walked closer, trying to decide what to say now. He got there before me, glancing around. "Where did the others go?" "They had to go. It's not important," I answered, which earned a slow look from him. He didn't believe me. It was expected, and continued before he could make any comments or questions. There isn't a point looking closely at it. They had reasons. I am dead. Looking closely is not exactly my specialty anymore. The slight jest he interrupted me with, partnered with a small gesture to his empty eyes, didn't earn a laugh. In fact, it irritated me. And yet you still hover around, lingering, not letting things come to a close like they should. His head tilted, his ears offering a small twitch under his long hair. I merely glanced down at my hooves, slowly beginning to walk around him as he worked out a response. I did not think you would have come to criticize my afterlife handling. And besides, me being dead, that sounds fairly final to me. A soft, awkward laugh accompanied his joking words. It made me scoff, my nose scrunching up before I gestured sharply up to the expanse above. And yet up there you wandered and strived, like you deserved another round, like each time your chest rose and fell it was real. I know it is not real, I am not an idiot. I have this as proof, and so do you. He gestured to his chest, a hint of confusion and partial surprise in his words, gesturing to the void and then to the red of mine. This is residue. A stain did not wash out. And scrub harder. I shoved against his shoulder, taking a step forward to match his step back. You know exactly how to finish it, and you protect it. You teach it, you hold it like it's your salvation when it was our demise. He went silent. His expression didn't need to change. I could feel his demeanor shifting, as if affecting the very atmosphere of this abyss. They are not that thing. You do not get to associate it to them. Keep telling yourself that. I chuffed, the lines that were my form pulsing and shifting. The harsher colors ruffled and waved through its cells like a thunderstorm or an ocean provoked. Doesn't excuse the fact that you glorified the reason we suffered and made it sound like a fairy tale. They are still learning. Do you expect me to tell them truths of hardships and horrors? Have them fear the world they live upon? His arms spread out to his sides as he leaned closer to my face, his ears pitting back with a genuine questioning in his voice. I leaned closer to him, my arms falling to my sides. That thing is not a child, and it's sure hell not yours. I felt him move to retort, to defend it, but I wasn't going to let him. I could feel the others observing. I could feel them discouraging me, encouraging me, all 11 divided. The disappointment from Belle was the strongest. It was an ever-present itch, but I needed to do this. It's not a second chance. It's not a clueless rabbit in need of helping. It's a monstrosity created by your inability to let the hell go, and the reason we needed to go in the first place. I shoved in again, watching him stumble and take steps back. I only drew closer. He was not disappearing out of this one. That didn't work here. He was going to stand there and listen. He was going to do what I say. I took that on. I swallowed the raw. I let it crawl down our throat and sit in our gut until we could force it out and be done with it all. And then you existed. And look at how noble that made you. He found his backbone with a snarl, his steps halting, though his shoulders trembled. He was afraid. Once a coward, always a coward. You still have this belief that annihilation is the same as peace. It's quieter. No memories clawing their way through our senses. No nights spent replaying every filthy thought, every mistake, every act, every time we wanted to tear our own skin off just to feel clean. You think I do not still feel that? That the absence of a body, of half my soul, you think those things disinfected me? I feel everything without the mercy of numbness you all had before. Who the fuck do you think got the effects of that mercy wearing off firsthand? Sure hell wasn't you. I cut his excuses off with a sharp laugh, getting in his face even more. My own ears pinned back, the vine remnants twisting along my body, red mist falling from them. Something twitched and moved in that eye of his. I ignored it. If it's such a trial to you, then stop. I grabbed his arm, the vines from my hands curling around it. Let go, sink, disappear like you always do. You don't need to haunt this world just because you think people need and care about you. Do not say that. Half the people you think of right now, you haven't spoken to in months. That does not matter. Zinnia, she just wants to be a hero. She barely knows you. The only reason she ever sees you as a good person is because that thing's acts being so good. Stop. Belios, you failed him twice. He didn't even come back to tell you anything. Not even a thanks for building his fucking grave. That was not... Froggy has been missing for months. She's probably found a new family. Maybe found that woman you reminded her so much of. Or maybe she went back to Oakle. Stop it. Lynx? Seriously? I don't even have to explain that. You saw the kind of shite he was doing. Sam, too? That man is probably traumatized by you. He was just too scared to say a thing. Shut up. Havoc pitied you. He was acting as a leader he was. You looked up to him and couldn't even give him a proper funeral. Light was the same. You were nothing more than another lost spirit to her. She had Waters to protect her, to be her father. You tried and you fucking crushed her. You abandoned Angel. He was sick and you didn't call the people you knew could help. And you were so sick in the head that you found someone's wings and put them in a glass box thinking it was his. That you imagined he was there by some random grave and you yelled at him. Even with hallucinations, you run away and hide every time. All fell silent, my voice armed with those last words cut short by myself. I took a sharp, unneeded intake of breath, the vine around my neck tightening. My hand didn't waver its grip on his arm. I wasn't focused on his face. My vision wasn't clear. We're tired. You're dragging pain along like a corpse on a leash. My voice was quieter now, but it didn't lose its firmness. I gazed downcasted to the star below, a reflection of 12 faces staring back at me. This hovering major act is useless, especially when we know, deep down, we believe the same thing. My hand moved down to his forearm, coming to hold his hand, my other hand moving to meet it. The vines dragged along with my fingers' movements. You acted on it, remember? You were ready to end it, officially, when you saw for how much you hate them. How much you hate glorifying it. You sound an awful lot like it did. His voice had changed. Figured something out. Something wrong. The vines on my arms quaked. I felt his hand tightening around my own, and I finally looked back up at him. His eye was green. I'm trying to... Shut your mouth! Croy's hand shot out and latched onto the handle of the pickaxe wedged in the parasitic eye, wrenching it out and shoving down with a kick. He swung the pickaxe over his head and brought it down into the red over and over again until dissipated into wisps and retreated down into the core below before he could make another hit. Who is the coward now? The ghost's bellow shook the ground above, the pickaxe snapping in half between his fists, returning to nothing and joining where its owner retreated to. He shook his head, gasping for nothing, as if his soul decided to need oxygen, as if his form decided to create working lungs to make him choke for his crimes. Hands dragged down the sides of his face, pulling his translucent skin with his nails. Fake, a detailed shadow given color. He pulled at his jumper collar. It holds no warmth, no softness. It's not real. His fingers finally find the gaping void, where there used to be a heart, one that pulsed and beat, one that sank and lifted, one that suffered and rested. It reminded him that he was a husk, a broken husk of a withered soul, part of which didn't even belong to him anymore. He had no tear ducts, but he wanted to cry. He had no sense of touch, but he wanted to feel. He had no stomach, but he craved the comfort of food. He had no need for sleep, but he craved escape. He craved those dreams he was deprived of for eons, hidden and buried, trampled by nightmares and reminders. He hated being alive like this. He could have prevented this months ago. He was close. But that look he got as he held his hands around the throat of his... No. Death was not an option now. He chose his path and he must endure it. He shot up with a sharp push from his tower below him, phasing through the rocky barrier that was his sky. He grasped every ledge, he took every fall, flew every far jump, he held his breath, he bared the cold. Bed with deep slate, granite, ores, caves, lava pools, water pockets, stone, gravel, andesite, dirt, mine shafts. Rest in openings. Do not fall, do not sit, do not lay. Stand, stay. And finally he reached, and finally he found.
Gosh, guys, I'm about to capture Beef and have her on stream.
Huh?
Oh, beef.
Beef.
Damn it! She's slippery. It is documents like these. Beef, you're gonna let me grab you this time? Nope. Beef, come here. Come here.
You need beef to make this statement.
In today's Lord Tuesday, beef rates your Lord Tuesday entries.
There is secrets in the dock, but I didn't think I'd get time to show those. So.
Oh, I noticed them.
Okay, yay. I would have been a little louder with my expressions, but it is almost 4 o'clock in the morning, so I probably shouldn't do that.
Go to sleep.
But I want to stay until like you move on to
It's like you have
another
like
thing.
it's like really late.
I know, but I'll be okay. It's fine.
No, you won't.
Just hold off a little longer and then I'll go to bed.
I haven't
Once
been
Freya
speaking
returns.
much because I've been zoning out for like the past 30 or so minutes, but go to sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep, CJ.
I
Anyway, what I was
will.
saying is documents
will.
like these are the reason that I make this server in the first place. Like, your arc planning has been so good. It was good for Alfie, and now it's great for CJ and CJ. You're CJ for Croy and Kron. And like, I think there are so many characters that are hitting the point right now where there's like this deep, like it's like the internal battle. There's been some external battle, and now there's the internal battle going on. And this is one of those. That was great. That was fantastic. Go to bed.
All right. Good night.
As for us, we are watching this Oliver thing. Oh, I'm gonna get muted on stream. Do I look like that song? Fire.
Is that mac and cheese I see?
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
From Shorts. Okay, wait, how many do... January 5...
Hey, Freya.
Huh?
You know, you haven't fed us.
Well... Welcome back, Beef.
I'm literally starving right now, like dying.
Beef.
If I smell Freya doesn't feed her staff. Cannon.
You want a little noodle?
We haven't been fed.
We're gonna stroll away. Like a wind would blow us over.
We're gonna die in the shed.
I have cheese. Come here.
Can you even give
Should I rather feed
You can't come over here and meow at me, and then when I offer you food, you run away.
Freya, feed us! Feed us!
You want the piece of mac and cheese I was gonna give Beef?
Yes.
Yes!
Here, eat.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Yay! I'll save some for light. When do we get our next set of rations?
Next week.
It's funny because when I said the junior lore staff chat is just the junior lore staff, junior staff just being like
Role-playing being in the shed.
stuck in. Yes.
Role playing being
Role play being locked up in his head.
Alright.
Things just haven't been the same since the greater anomaly.
I can agree with that.
Oruyo, this is the Depend chapter. It's been 2 weeks since I left the faction meeting in a rush. I haven't attended any new ones either. I haven't even checked up on my stall. I really hope it doesn't get taken down or robbed. Seems that I've only been acting up when I'm around people, so my best move is to isolate myself. My unbearable headache hasn't gone away, though. I even tried to brew up some medicine, but I really only gained an unhappy stomach. Today I had to change my looks. A loose hanging brow bandage, some tighter and more uniform ones around my neck, and just barely hugging around my bicep. I've grown some kind of patterns running along my skin in what looks like shattered glass. Upon further inspection, there's been a buildup of something seeping from them. The color is a clear iridescent consistency. Reminds me of oil. I think if I have to change bandages one more time, I'll actually lose it. My medical supplies are running low, and I fear going to the hospital. There's something so eerie about that place. While doing chores around my little village, I feel this unsettling feeling pulling me towards that well again. I haven't gone down since my incident as promised, but the only way to cure whatever's going on with me has to be resolved by them. The people who I met in the cosmos. It's far too contradicting, though. They told me to stay out. Putting a hand on my chest, I think back to that moment. Break too many rules and your soulstone will continue to shatter like this. I still don't understand how it's a rule to not search for my family, and to think they're probably now dictating and watching over my every move. I swear I won't let them stop me from finding you all. I peer up to the clouds above. When did it get all dark and gloomy? I could have sworn it was sunny a minute ago. I guess that's enough chores for today. Leading my horse into her shelter, a loud boom of thunder makes her jump, whipping her head around like a psychopath. Ha! It's just rain, goof. You won't melt unless you're secretly a witch and not telling me. She freezes. Wait, are you? I laugh deeply. That would explain her inhuman-like greed at mealtime, as well as how her tale is always flawless without the slightest wrinkle or knot. The rain overhead us starts to sing a song against the brick pathways just as we shelter, the scent of petrichor soothing me instantly. The rain has always been my go-to choice of comfort, besides maybe fruit-filled grapes. I never understood how people could be scared of it. It's so beautifully peaceful and chaotic. The big baby of a horse beside me huffs again as if personally scolding the rain. It's just water that can't be held anymore, you know? I ruffle her mane. Big scary clouds, but harmless water, maybe hail, kinda like me. She could sense my discontent, getting down and curling her big snout on me. I accepted with a smile. I look up at the clouds again. It's really pouring down. Maybe that's what my soulstone is, a big scary cloud stone that holds something inside, and when it's too much, all hell breaks loose. And once it's purified of its contents, shouldn't it go back to normal? A shiver runs down my spine like an instinct, screaming at me to let go of such a thought. If that were the case, the only way to purify my stone is to let my soul drain like the water in the clouds. Something much worse than death. Ah, so that's what the dawn meant. I wouldn't die, I'd be a soulless being, hallow, awaiting a vessel. Surely there's a trump card. As much as I don't like the hospital, I could find a surgeon to pry the stone out of me, but the chances of something going remotely right with that plan are less than what keeps my mind at peace. I could try patching the cracking myself, but I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Sounds painful, too. What about a machine of sorts? One that has the ability to take my time turning abilities into a single device? Can something like that even be conjured? Come to think of it, I've never announced blacksmiths down by the market. The only person I could think of with such high-tech capabilities are those of the Arcturus crew, and I've never even interacted with them. The goddess has been out of commission, and I doubt getting her involved is a good idea. Come on, think. Who has that kind of knowledge? The librarians. No, that's so messed up. I didn't have the guts to visit all this time they've been recovering. I can't just show up like their only use to me is information. But who else could I rely on in a time like this? I find myself in front of the hospital, stomach up to my throat and head dizzy. I really do hate this place. Holding my breath, I walk through the doors. The familiar sterilized smell stings my nose like a toxic chemical, but I can't afford past memories to hold me back. My eyes catch the signs up ahead, waiting room, emergency room, primary care. Come on, show. Think. They literally got stabbed. Emergency room it is. I take a left. The hallways feel like they're growing smaller, stretching miles out, suffocating me. I feel like vomiting. I don't want to be here. I need to get out of here. I can hear familiar screams of the past echoing off the walls. My eye stings again. I feel the starry substance beginning to seep from my eye once more. Guess it couldn't hurt to stock up on bandages while I'm here. Too caught up in my head. I had barely caught myself from bumping into the waiting seats. May I help you? The receptionist asked calmly. Ignoring my faintly stinging wound, I cleared my throat enough to ask, is a keyboard back here by any chance? Keyboard? I haven't heard that name in a day. Move the bonk to truffle? I want to bonk them? Roger that. Alright, go for it. They looked confused, but looked at the records nonetheless. I didn't like that look. They were discharged this morning. This morning? That's no good. They could be anywhere if that's the case. Oh, is it? Where is it? Oh, it's behind. There we go. That works. They're probably wasting no time going back to busying themselves. I could time warp to them like usual, but given my current state of body and mind, not at the top 10 of best things I could think of. I wish I knew where the library was. That'd be a perfect start. I bite my nail and thought. A bad habit. Walking out of the hospital, I look down at my freshly stained bandages, contemplating. I shut my eyes tightly, focusing. I haven't warped in so long. Do I still remember how to? I also have no clue how messed up my accuracy will be now that my soulstone is broken. No matter. I bite my lip in a silent prayer to no one but my sanity. castle. A sharp pain runs through my body as soon as I land, my vision tunneling in and out of consciousness. I try to keep my body upright, but ultimately fall to my knees with a groan. My bandaged hand comes up to clutch my chest, where I can finally faintly feel that damn stone shattering more. Feels like I just fell off the highest cliff and broke a rib. I have just enough strength to look up. The Statue of Remembrance? I thought I warped to... Their body stiffens at the sound of the groan, and they turn around quickly. Fists clenched, ready for a fight, still wary from the attack, only to relax. Show? Is that you? Are you okay? I hold my breath. I guess my entrance was a little too announced. Nice going. Hey, I was looking for you at the hospital. I cough up some more stardust, wiping it away from my lip on my cloak as I stand up. They said you left this morning. Sorry for not visiting sooner. I was busy. A lie. Comet's brow furrowed. Are you okay? Are you sure you don't need to go to the hospital yourself? I could see the blatant look of concern on their face mixed with skepticism, though I guess I expected it. Swallowing down the lingering dizziness of pain wringing my nerves. Wow, we are really bonking Truffle.
Light, can I speak? Can I speak?
Yeah?
Light, is this because I tried to start a union in the hospital? Is this because I tried to
Light Union Buster! Someone get a picture of Light in here. Give me a picture of Light.
Wait, get a very dumb looking image of Light.
Someone draw a picture of
Light.
Yeah, someone send me a picture of Light.
I probably have a reference of Light
Drop
somewhere
it in S&P General or something.
Wait, you might need to crop it, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, wait, let me DM it to you.
No, drop it in S&P General.
Okay. It's just the Light reference sheet, that's it. Light, I have 410 coins. You are getting 41 bonks.
Bob!
I can't find the reference photo.
Bob, how could you? Why are you bonking me now?
Where is Light's reference photo? I'm struggling here.
That's what I thought, Comet.
Okay, I found the image of Light. There. I don't know why that's in my phone. I don't remember putting that in my phone, but it's in my phone. Put that on screen. Let me bonk it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ham. I'm going to go crazy. Light, we can get better pay. We aren't getting paid right now. We can get paid if the power over the many over the power of the few.
I thought we were supposed to work in like one unit instead of like fighting over each other.
Okay, the bonk is slightly behind Light. You know what? Good enough for me.
It's fixed.
I'm clicking as fast as my little hands will let me. No, we aren't getting paid, and that's the problem.
You knew this was a volunteer position when you signed up.
No, I didn't.
Should have been on the paperwork.
The Light didn't have to bonk me 70 times for just trying to start a union. We need better working conditions anyways.
I wonder if Freya would know what a union is. Probably not.
Have you ever heard about the PC rituals? Every
Comment.
single morning.
We need that a drawing. Freya being like, yes, I see. Freya doesn't know much. That's the truth.
Every
agree with you
single
on that.
morning, Magos forces us to do a sacrifice to the computers, and if we don't, they crash on us.
Oh. Yeah, we do have to keep reading. As much as I would love to bonk forever, we do have to keep reading.
It's fine, I only have 14 more bonks.
I'm putting it back on me. Save your doubloons.
Okay, I now have 120 doubloons.
Alright. Swallowing down the lingering dizziness and pain ringing from my nerves, I stride confidently up with a feigned chuckle. I'm fine. I was performing some new elixir experiments earlier and the glass exploded on me. They know I'm a clumsy one ever, so in my defense it sounds believable. Pulling the cloak over my shoulders to better conceal the compresses hiding the blood, I take a small step towards the statue, looking up in awe. This is the first time I've been this close to the statue. Are you here for any reason? Comet's furrowed gaze lingered briefly before their attention turned back to the statue. I was thinking about the people Echo has killed, the anomaly, their attacks here. Their hand tightened into a fist. I was targeted. My expression soured. Of course I knew that. Sitting through that faction meeting was pure hell, listening to the details and the frustration in their voice, all the way to when the doctor was nudging them back to the hospital. Pure hell. If my back hadn't been turned on them, they would have noticed how perplexed I really was at that sentence. I heard someone found you in time, that's good. A deep breath before giving them my gaze again. You look well for someone who got shanked, you know? Back working yet? Comet softly laughed. Thanks, I had to get out of there, it was driving me insane. I'm thinking about trying to go back to the library and get some work done. I know it's been piling up since. They paused for a moment. Have you been to the library yet? No, I haven't. Actually, could you help me with something? I was going to ask the Arcturus people about this, but I've never interacted with them. I fold open the head of a satchel resting on my hip, pulling out a leather-encased journal. Flipping a few pages, the paper shows a decently detailed sketch of what looks to be a smooth rhombus mechanism. Think you might have a section that covers engineering? Comet leaned over and squinted at the page. They paused in thought. I do believe so. I think Mira and her fiancé donated some from their planet when they came to Solace. You can come with me if you'd like, and I can show you the library and get you your books. They stood back up, straightening their posture. Regardless of how my body was screaming at me to settle down. I know this device means more than anything right now. With an eager nod, we set off. This may well be one of the longest walks I've taken in a while, but I can't complain. It brings back fond memories. Taking walks before the sun was fully up to learn dueling or sneaking into the library's secret entries before getting caught. That constricting feeling in my body eases ever so slightly. After passing through a body of water, we reached a lighthouse. The watchroom of it spinning like a carousel in a mesmerizing lumen. I never expected them to reside around a body of water, but I guess it makes the effort of finding this place painstaking if you're desperate. We weave through a cleared path of birch trees and a pathway, the leaves crunching under my heels. I purposely step on the bigger ones for satisfaction. A good 4 minutes passes by before Comet comes to a halt, causing me to look up. A large proper building comes into view from just beyond the last clearing of trees, the windows reflecting back the sun's dimming lights of the day enough to show the lanterns on the inside. Walking through the doors, Comet follows behind. Good to see that the place is still in one piece, they muttered to themselves before gesturing to a row near the back. Over there should be the engineering books you're looking for. Currently they're sorted by author's last name, but I may switch it to the subject when we get more in. Most of them are from Maleron. They're well known for engineering. They lead me to the far corner of their library archives, then wander off to check the drop-off box. My eyes skim through the binders. They look fairly new. The tabs on the shelves guide me well. Shuttle, satellites, you name it, they have it. Taking one of the books at eye level with me, I take a look at the title, something about spacecrafts. With an uninterested hum, I place it snugly back where it was, eyes now scanning upwards. I reach for a few off of the higher shelf shakily, damn being short. My eyebrows furrow as I get up on my tiptoes, arms extending longer than I could with a huff. I wince. Ah, the cracks on my arm had split open, the bandages drinking in the blood thirstily. Comet's head snaps over. Hey, are you sure you're okay? I have a first aid kit if you want me to look at your injuries. As the iridescent substance seeps down my arm, I feel that same feeling from earlier emerge. A shiver into some kind of dizziness, then my consciousness slipping from my grasp. A hand comes over to cover my injury. I already feel each appendage twitching. No, not this again. No, not here. Not here. Not having total control over my body anymore, the books scatter by my feet. I kneel down to pick them up, but I'm met with gut-wrenching nausea. The floor looks a lot further for some reason. Comet's face was wrought with concern. Whoa, hey! They bent down to my level. I grabbed the wrist bruisingly, the veins in my arm fading into a black ombre with my skin in the other hand shooting out to strike onto their recently injured side. Their face lit up with confusion before they doubled over in pain, letting out a hiss. What? Why? They looked at me, hurt. My heels dig into the floor beneath me, pouncing at the fallen warden, arms and legs tangled around them in a chaotic wrestle. My fist clenched up again, driving back into that healing wound. They let out a groan as they struggled, thrashing side to side, trying to throw me off, but I held on, driving my hand deeper. Their hands went up to my torso, and in one swift move, shoved me, sending me flying back. I choke out a strangled gasp for air, my vision dizzying almost instantly. My body hits the shelf behind me with a harsh thud and a cough, the soul stone reacting viciously before returning my consciousness to me rightfully. Directly under my chin, a crack starts to take shape, traveling down to my neck as corruption soothes me in a cruel, wrathful coldness. A tear. Mother, I didn't mean to. Another strangled gasp leaves my lips as a few more cracks form onto my eye, blinding my vision. Please, please believe me. My fingertips cling to the bookshelves, desperately pulling myself to a standing point, but miss from my limited sight. I try again, tugging some books down from the shelves that land on my head with a comical thud. I wince, panic setting in for my third attempt to get up. The support trembles slightly under my last attempt. A moment of silence. Their eyes widen in horror and panic, as if they were disgusted with themselves. Show. Their voice softened. It's okay. They take their free hand to push into a stance, then extend it out towards me as if I were a lost animal. It feels like we've gone full circle. Why? Have you ever once asked me for help? Why? Why are you always the one to give me your hand, regardless if it's blood-stained, regardless if you're hurting because of me? One quick glance at the scattered books on the floor. I take up two bigger-looking ones that might be of use, shoving them into my satchel with haste. A final glance, just one more. Tearful, scared, worried, running. I'm sorry. Aww. Aww. Oh, this is so cute. Oh, sorry. Hold on. This one. By popular demand, the bar talks began. Oh, this is a good one. Take one down, pass it around. Shwoop! A message sent notification sound from a comms device, typically used to indicate that a message absolutely has been delivered or received by another person. No going back. Absolute confirmation. Waters stares at the message history on his device. The whole history itself practically only consists of automated emergency alerts. One brief question about one camera with a single word response months ago. Now this. I need to speak to you regarding the approaching hurricane and its heading for the Keepers of Solace. Can we meet? I'm going to be at the tavern at Riverside in 2 hours. Marcello, leader of Arcturus, a man he has respected on the same level as a brother in arms, yet never spoke to once, to his recollection. There's no precedent set for communications, no previous banter to play off of, no casual tone established. It has him question his words. Is it too informal? Too demanding? Not demanding enough? This is a very important matter after all. Is it too short notice? Will the man even show up? Should I have asked Cam first? A thought that pulls his vision back down to his comms device. Oh, it's too late, Marcello has responded. A simple thumbs-up symbol. Waters sets down his comms device and runs his gloved hands over the front of the tank on his head. That is certainly a confirmation, but is it a confirmation for the tavern or just agreeing to meet in general? It has to be for the tavern, right? Oh, and now Marcello's device is set to Do Not Disturb. Waters slides the comms device away and stares down at his own paperwork, but he can't help but tap his pen against the desk. Then he shakes his head and sighs. Marcello's just giving a thumbs up and then going Do Not Disturb. It killed me the first time It's the middle of the day. Of course, he's busy. He'll just have to assume that he's going to show up at the tavern. 2 hours until then. Get as much work as you can get done before then. In that time, Waters reevaluates all recent data from the storms. He views cameras stationed in the Moon-Touched Kingdom and in Kindlegrim to witness the wind speeds, see if they match the reports from the sensors. He runs simulations based on the information, runs projections of storms' paths to find what would be the most likely path. There are options, ways the storm can go that would make it less hazardous, ways it can go that would put more people at risk. He finds the middle ground. In every equation he runs, The storm sustains itself longer than it should. It carries itself further inland. It becomes and stays a hurricane. There's enough information to calculate that the weather is increasing. It is building up to something. He has enough evidence to support this, enough to add into one large file on his tablet. As he packs it away into his bag, he checks the time. It is almost 12 o'clock, lunchtime, 11:56 exactly, but it would take time to get to Riverside. Well, music's going kind of hard. I need to turn it off for myself. He'll most likely arrive late by a few minutes, but this is not uncommon. Cam will be waiting by the time he arrives. He has never been offended. This is confirmed the second Waters pushes through the tavern doors at 12:08. He snaps off his bulletproof tactical vest, removes the holster and pistol, then he hangs both up on hooks by the door. It leaves him with the long coat and the piecemeal armor, feeling lighter but simultaneously wrong. Then he looks up and sees Cam already seated at the bar. He's taken up one of the seats in the middle and nurses a tall glass of beer, though not a sip has been taken from it. Condensation builds on the outside of the glass to indicate it's been left that way for at least a couple of minutes. He talks to Feather as she stands behind the bar. They joke about something, he can't tell what, and Cam smiles. Waters looks away for a second, then he rolls his shoulders and approaches the bar to take his usual seat on the end, closest to the door. "You're late," a comment made by Cam the moment he sits down. "You don't care about that and you know it," the immediate response. Cam smiles again, lifting his beer to his lips and shaking his head, to say an unspoken, "Nah." "Worth a try, though," he mutters out before taking a swig. In return, Waters smiles as well, though it goes unseen through the depths of water. A relief that they could joke like this, that he himself still has it in him to, despite everything life has thrown at him lately. "So," the voice that draws his attention away from Cam, "Feather, what's your poison today?" She looks at him with a raised eyebrow. He leans back and considers it. Lately, he's been experimenting with different varieties of cocktails, essentially going through the list that Feather has on tap to see if he can find that one type that will stick with him for his times of casual drinking. A simple beer has never really sat right with him. It's the flavors he enjoys. So, with a mental scan of where he stopped him the last time, he makes his decision relatively quickly. Tequila Sunrise. Feather leans back from where she had propped her arms on the bar and looks back at the wall of mixers. Then she nods and looks back at him with a smile. "Yeah, I can throw that together for you. Give me a minute." Waters nods, though the action alone doesn't measure up to the actual excitement he feels. Alcohol for him was usually just as strong, tasteless thing, drunk to pass the time on a longer mission or to warm the body over a cold patch of terrain. There never really was the opportunity to try something different, to add something good. "A hurricane, huh?" Cam speaks. It adds in with the sound of his beer as it taps down against a coaster on the bar. "Right, yeah, there's a hurricane coming." Waters' posture suddenly straightens and he taps his fingers against the bar. What can I really say about it that hasn't just been in the reports I've sent to faction leaders already? He takes a breath in and looks down the bar towards Cam, ready to speak, but then he spots it. A figure, down the bar from them. How long has... Is that Rando? Cam looks surprised as well, turning his head to look to his left, confirming that, yeah, Rando is there. Absolutely passed out. Head on the bar and everything. But Cam does something even more surprising to Waters and just shrugs it off. "Oh, yeah, no, he's been there for a while. Don't worry about it," Cam says, waving a hand in the air dismissively. "What?" "Narcolepsy." Feather and Cam practically spoken at the same time in different vocal tones. This must have been discussed before he had arrived. Right. Seriously, how long has he been there? Waters elects not to ask aloud. Instead, he retrieves his tablet from his back and pulls up the folder of data he had collected in case Marcelo had arrived. He hands that to Cam. The readings support it. It's definitely a hurricane. Cam glances at the tablet and then raises to stare at Waters. At first, he can't really read what kind of emotion is in that stare, but then Cam rolls his eyes a little and gives him an amused shake of the head. "I don't doubt you, you know. You're more the expert on this than me," Cam says, though he still takes the tablet, and Waters can see as he looks through some of the files. "Jeez, this is a lot." Words added, spoken quieter. Waters just stares. Then he sighs and raises a hand to his head. "No time like the present. Marcelo's on the way. I'm going to be sharing those files with him to support the request of utilizing the Arcturus lands for an evacuation zone." At that, Cam is quiet. Just for a moment. Just long enough that Waters can continue his thought. I don't know if that amount of files is too much or too little. There's the feeling of a hand pressed against Waters' shoulder, a light squeeze. He isn't sure when he shuts his eyes. He doesn't know when he started to brace for the absolute embarrassment of admitting he believes he's done too much. But his eyes open to see Cam is looking at him with something like amusement. "Waters, I'm not gonna lie." A pause, then he releases Waters' shoulder to pick up the tablet and slide it back to him. This is definitely too much, but I think it's good. I mean, it's not like Marcelo is going to look at it and explode or something. Yeah, because that's what my concern would be, Waters starts to say, amused, and deadpan as he minimizes the files on his tablet, puts it into sleep mode. Marcelo, exploding. Look, Cam starts to say, but whatever he was going to say next is interrupted by the doors being pushed open anew. Captain Marcelo. Very timely in his arrival, as if he had somehow sensed that he was being talked about, here he has appeared. And Waters is not exactly sure how to greet him. Speak of the devil. Cam does so instead. Hey, Marcelo, over here. Marcelo's eyes go from staring at the horses on the stage across the room to the two of them at the bar, then back to the stage. Ultimately, he shuts his eyes and sighs. It is a quick decision to know that he does not want to have to deal with or question that right now. Hey, it's been a while since I've been here, Marcelo speaks with a shrug of his shoulders as he approaches the bar, pausing when he sees the stool closest to Cam and Waters has been taken up by a passed-out rando. Not wanting to have to shout across the bar to be in conversation, he simply slides the stool Rando sits in across the bar and replaces it with the empty one at the end. It's an effort that certainly catches attention, but Feather has just finished and placed Waters' tequila sunrise on the bar, so that at least avoids Waters watching the whole ordeal. What do they got? Marcelo says, now settled into the stool by Cam. Pretty much a bit of everything. What do you want? Feather says with a confident smile as she slings the towel she was using to dry the shaker she had used to make Waters drink over her shoulder. There's a hum of thought as Marcelo possibly considers all of the alcohols he knows about, before ultimately landing on the one he is actually craving right now. He crosses his arms on the bar and looks across the wall for it before asking, You got any brandy? Feather's expression contorts into a grimace as she turns around to look at the drinks on the wall before ducking down and digging through what sounds like even more bottles and boxes under the bar. After about a minute, she pops back up and she looks almost apologetic. One bottle, I'll take it. A response so quick and instantaneous that Feather stops in place. She blinks and then slowly lifts the bottle up from beneath the counter to set it down on the bar. Okay, she says with a slow nod. If that's all for you guys, I'm gonna go. She looks between Waters and Cam, then to Marcelo. Cleans some tables. Waters tilts his head slightly as he stares at her, confused. Why did she take so long to say that? Why is she rushing off so quickly? Though, really, he supposes it doesn't matter. He did get his drink after all. Not to press you for time here, but what did you want to speak to me about exactly? The second time he's been interrupted from a drink. Serious. Focus. There's a hurricane, Waters. Waters sets his tequila sunrise down and glances at Cam for a second before waking the tablet back up, sliding it down the bar to Marcelo. The captain is in the process of uncorking the bottle of brandy, but he still catches the tablet. He pauses and looks over the screen, tapping something here, sliding something there. You're already predicting it'll be a Category 3 hurricane? A question, somewhat unexpected. Those are based on early weather projections from current weather data. Simulations ran multiple times with slight modifications between each run. A Category 3 rating came up at around the average for all of those simulated storms. It may not end up being exactly that. There's a creak as Marcelo leans back in the stool. He's still looking through all the files, the data. He seems genuinely interested in it. Between them, Cam takes a swig of his beer and nudges Waters to get his attention. He watches as Cam nods to his tequila sunrise. There's an unspoken question. One that he can practically hear as if it was spoken aloud. Are you going to do the thing? Waters looks at Marcelo, but he's still looking at the tablet. That gives him the opportunity to detach one of the tubes from the refill tank on his back. He pulls it into his lap, then unscrews a cap on the side and carefully pours the tequila sunrise into the tank. He puts the cap back on, reattaches the tube, and then glances at Cam before pressing the button to force a fresh cycle. And the water in his helmet slowly blends to the colors of the tequila sunrise as the cocktail flows in with the refill cycle. So what? Are you thinking about having Freya? But Marcelo stops mid-sentence when he looks up and sees the new colors in Waters' tank. He quickly pieces together what might have occurred by the now empty glass on the bar. Is that how that works? Suddenly, the more important question. Waters doesn't say anything. Cam laughs. It takes a while to get back on track after that. Conversation falls into the first time Cam witnessed Waters' odd form of drinking, to Waters explaining to Marcelo how he can't exactly drink or eat normally without being actively underwater. There are many questions, much conversation, and the previous ice of the conversation just somehow has a way of melting away. In the end, Waters forgot to directly ask Marcelo at the bar that day if Arcturus lands could be used for hurricane evacuations, but he left the tavern confident enough to call Marcelo later to make sure of that. These three are my favorite. The three dads. I'm so glad it's finally happening. Oh, they need to be best friends. Hee hee ha. You're a dad?
Hey,
whatever.
Feather was saying there's a different point of view clip. If you scroll down a little bit, that literally goes right after the doc that we just read. But it's just not actually right after it.
Oh, okay.
Like a meme to go along with the document, basically.
Oh, it's this one. Okay.
My God. These bitches gay. Good for them. Good for them.
This bitch is gay.
His face.
Bitches.
What was that?
Bitches.
CEO XY.
Gay them.
Marcella's face here is so just like
Freya.
empty. Huh?
Remember that image I sent in Staff General that I said I was going to make as Marcello and Freya? I have new targets now.
You do. That's crazy.
Sorry in advance.
Alright, my throat is killing me. I may not be able to, let's see, it's 1, 2, let me open all these to see how long this all
I
is.
can read if needed.
Okay, that's okay. Lucky. Just 3 pages. Light. 4 pages. Ugh, Bob. 2 pages, not bad. 2 pages. Yeah, we might have to. It's like almost midnight. I'm going to get to January 6th.
Oh no.
And then no, we can. It's not enough to justify. It's gonna be like another 2 hours.
I just looked at the time.
It's gonna be another 2 hours. Let's stop here. Let's stop here, and I'll do more tomorrow.
Yippee!
Oh my god, you get to read the thing I'm gonna write. Oh my god.
Maybe.
Oh wait, you also get to read the thing I'm writing.
All right, I'll get to read a lot. I'm sorry, Bob.
Can I come back and read my own doc?
Of course.
Yippee!
Bob, are you gonna be free tomorrow, or are you not gonna be here tomorrow? Because if you're not gonna be here tomorrow, I will read it right now, and we'll just skip it tomorrow. I don't think you won't be free? Alright. We will read Bob's as the last thing. I'm heading to the market to pick up some health potions for Comet. They insisted on going to the faction meeting, and of course, they hurt themselves in the process. They need bed rest, but they won't listen. Doesn't matter though. I know a giant boulder sitting on them wouldn't stop them from doing what they wanted. Thus, I'm getting health potions to at least make sure I can heal them if they get hurt. You're not free, you have work. Ugh. Let's just read. Okay, fine, we'll read yours too. It's okay. The market is quiet today. Only a few people are roaming about. Despite the catastrophe that happened so recently, it feels like everything has calmed down. I think the Remembrance Day helped people heal slightly. I start walk over to the alchemy stand. There's already a person with snowy white hair there rummaging through the chests. Hopefully they haven't taken the last of the health potions. Suddenly, I notice a group of the guard force around the corner. Fuck! The guard force, or goon squad as I like to call them, won't like that I'm traveling alone. I scan the area to see the best place I can hide. Before I can find a place, I hear one of the goons yell, "Hey, who are you traveling with?" This is not good. Suddenly, out of pure survival instinct, I point to the stall I'm heading to and say, "I'm with them!" I quickly run over to the alchemy stall and pat the person I saw earlier on the back, and say in a loud enough voice for the goon squad to hear, "Don't get away from me like that. We have to stay together, remember?" They slightly jolted in surprise at the contact, seemingly in a bit of pain and worry. The arm beneath their cloak reaches for a sword as an unbandaged golden eye meets my own. They pause, fingers loosening from the sword's hilt. They glance quickly at the guards and back at my pleading expression, features softening before nervously apologizing for drifting too far. The goons accepted this explanation and continued their safety patrol, and once they were out of earshot, I thanked my savior. I complained to him about how I just came to run some simple errands and I was treated like a fugitive. I do this as I open the health potions chest. I interrupt my complaints to say "damn it" in a response to seeing that the stall was all out of stock. They shuffle away from me awkwardly to lean against the hinged door, allowing a few moments to pass by before asking, "Did something happen?" I explained to him my situation, and he gave me the smallest head tilt but didn't comment further. I continue talking, not wanting the moment to become awkward. I tell him that I'm picking these up for my friend Comet, the other librarian at the library. They look shocked and concerned and quickly ask me, why? I tell them about Comet's kidnapping before quickly adding on that they are safe now and healing. They look horrified by what I have just said. They pause and look haunted by something or some idea, maybe a memory. They break free from their self-induced trance. Did I say something wrong? But before I could instigate further, they flipped open their satchel, dug out a few bubblegum pink potions labeled as health, and sat them on the counter closest to me. A humanitarian gesture. On the house. A beat. Your friend, they started abruptly before shutting it down with a shake of their head, buckling the satchel closed and pulling the hood of their cloak overhead to stop any additional recognition. They swiftly exited the stall. It all happened so quickly. I couldn't thank them or anything. I just stood there, slightly shocked. Something definitely happened to them in the past, but it wasn't my business. There's just so much pain in this world. If I can't fix myself, I can at least try stopping someone else from breaking. Alright, and then Artemis, we will read yours as well. Last minute. Wait. Now this was finished after the stream started. Yeah, I don't usually read things after the stream is started. How long is it? 2 pages? Yeah, sure, whatever. The walk around the tree. Artemis thought about Nixon and her encounter, thinking to herself, what the fuck? She rubs her head, groaning, realizing she had a massive headache. Stepping on a root, slipping. She fell. She fell hard. Ow! She sits up too fast, her vision going blurry. Her eyes started to water. She didn't get up. She couldn't get up. She just lay there, helpless. In the cold, pulling her overcoat around her, unable to speak or move, wishing she was warm. Artemis lay there for hours, unable to speak or move. She only saw visions of her mother. Her silent sobs grew longer, longing for her mother who died when she was born. She never forgave herself. She grew up with the idea that she killed her mother, never knowing that it was her father who killed her mother. She can't remember her own mother's name, but she remembers the photos. She remembers how her own father tried to poison her too. Finally, she realized she could move again. She stood, wobbling slightly. She exhaled and let out a cry of relief before shuddering. Her ears twitched, and she sat on a root, pulling out her journal and starting to sketch. Why can't I remember? After almost an hour of her scribbling what she remembers about her mother, she gets up, walking back to the front of the tree. Oh, I feel like I saw this art a long time ago. But nice. Cute. Alright. That is it for now. Yeah, as much as I want to read the rest of this, I'll probably have to do tomorrow. Or I can do like a Thursday one maybe, then we'll have a little bit more. My throat is just really killing me, and I want to get to bed, you know, at a decent time tonight. So,
Good night. I'm tired.
go to sleep. I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow or Thursday or whatever.
It's 11:30. I wake up at 7. I'm so cooked.
Go to sleep, go to sleep. I never expect you to stay the whole stream. I know that hopefully I will get another job soon that doesn't have me working until 8 p.m.
I'm gonna have nightmares with that voice.
Which voice?
Go to sleep! The one that sounds like you smoked 3 packs before speaking.
Go to sleep, Truffle.
I'm not going to sleep.
Okay. Stay awake all night and be tired tomorrow.
I'm going to sleep.
Okay, do whatever. I don't care. I'll see you all later.